Hey Aries, welcome into your reading. Okay, let's get started and see what's coming through for you this week. What's up with the Aries group that I'm picking up on today, that I'm reading for today? One card for the weekly overall message for the Aries, please. Ooh, nice. Passion. And it comes with the soul. Number 14. All right, what is this about? It feels like, I don't know if you're aware of it. You might be aware of it, okay? But whatever it is that you're being called toward at this time, like this inner push, an inner push toward something specific. It feels like you want, like there is a need to express yourself in some way. There's something that's like bubbling up within, swirling within you in your essence, right? In your spirit that is like getting overflowed, right? Like it's overflowing, therefore it's starting to like bleed out of your essence, of your being, right? Like energy coming out. And this could be, I'm also getting this coming out of like through words, through communication, um through different modalities like artistic, creative modalities. And maybe you're not too, like, it's not specific on what it is, but you just feel it. Like you feel the need to express yourself in some way. There is a change that's going on, that's happening within. I don't know if you might be just a little bit more emotional or sensitive right now. Then, like I don't see you too much as an emotional sensitive person, but like sensitive in ways of like things are just touching your heart in ways that they wouldn't before. Do you know what I mean? Like certain things wouldn't hit you the way they are hitting you now. And this tends to come with age, okay? Like as we get older, we do get a little bit more sensitive. We do get more, because we have more experience in life, right? And we can empathize and we have compassion with the world, right? Like we see the world in a different way the older that we get. And so we're able to relate and connect, and maybe we feel bad or we feel sorry for others because we've been in their shoes or something like that. But you're seeing something here with this eye, obviously. And it's creating an energy of like, I don't know if it is, hold on, I'm trying to feel it out. It doesn't feel like obsessed. I'm not getting obsession, okay? But I am getting a lot of focus on something. I am getting like a lot of watch time, right? Like watching a lot of something. And this could also be like learning, researching as well, right? So you can create, right? Maybe you're just passionate about a topic, about I don't know, like a concept. It doesn't have to be anything that you're creating physically. It's just more like, let's just say astrology, right? For example, yes, you can practice astrology and you can have an astrology practice where you have clients and all of that. But some people, I am guilty of this, practice astrology because they are just fascinated with the topic, that they don't really do anything with it. Right? Like, yes, I'll have clients here and there. Mostly my clients are for tarot readings, right? Like it's not often that I get a client that comes to me for an astrology reading, but when they do, like I'm happy to do it. But I study astrology because I just love it and I'm fascinated by it, not necessarily because I'm going to do anything with it, if that makes sense. So, it could be something like that, right? A new passion or a passion for a specific topic or something that you're spending a lot of time watching. And you love it so much, right? Like it's not just about, it's not frivolous, and maybe other people can see it like, what are you doing? Like you're spending all your time like learning about sharks, right? Like for example, but to you it's more than that, right? Like because of all the information that you've received on this topic, it has made you empathetic or compassionate to whatever it is, right? It has made you see life or see things from a different perspective. Therefore, it hits your heart and your emotions in a certain way, if that makes sense. Okay, enough about that. Let's go into your personal energy. One card, mind, heart, body, soul. Aries, personal energy. 7 of Wands. Okay, I just heard, obviously because of the scissors, but yes, cutting ties. I heard cutting ties. What kind of flowers are these? Can't see them that well. I need new glasses. All right, well, 7 of Wands here is an energy about overcoming obstacles. You have a lot coming toward you and you want to win, you want to succeed, you want to accomplish, you know. And before the 7 of Wands was the 6 of Wands that does speak about success and accomplishment. But with that success and accomplishment comes great responsibility, right? So all of these sticks or wands are different aspects of life that are sort of needing your attention. And you, right, in this depiction, are needing to cut some of these down. So that could look like in the real world, like you just checking things off the list. You know, that could look like you getting, you know, different jobs done. Or it could also look like you going through this list or, you know, all of these things that are being required of you and saying to yourself, like, what is important that I need to keep and that I need to fulfill compared to what's not important that I don't have to spend energy on, right? And I can save my energy for the thing that I'm passionate about. Okay, so you might be feeling like you need to be efficient with your time right now and productive, more efficient, right? I do think that you're being productive, but what is the best thing, right? Like what is on the priority list here? What's the most important thing? What are the things that are just going to take energy away from you and not add or enhance to the quality of your life in any way? Therefore, those things can just come off the list completely. Do you know what I mean? But it can feel just a little hectic, right? When we are in the 7 of Wands, because it does feel like so much is being asked of us from all different angles, right? Like it could be you as an employee have to do things, you as a wife or a husband have to do things, you as a child, like whatever, you know, like there's just all these things that are, it just feels like a lot at once. So you have the need to like figure out what you can give your attention to, and still be able to have time in your day for what you're passionate about. All right, more detail. Page of Pentacles. Are you just learning? There is a tangible opportunity, an opportunity that you can take a hold of, that you can see physical results with, but it's new, okay? It's not something that you're used to. This sort of is just coming into your life right now. 6 of Swords. Yeah, you want to go toward peaceful, calmer, more easy flowing time of life, right? Like where things are just not hectic. You know, maybe you've just had a few months where there's been a lot going on and you're always super busy. Like you just want to rest and chill and, you know, just take time for yourself. I'm getting strongly hydration. Like that's coming through strong. Hydrating. I don't know if you are paying attention to how much water you're taking or how much sun you're getting compared to how much water you're drinking. But hydration is coming through. And there's the Ace of Cups with a cup of overflowing water. Okay, so you have the Five of Cups, or actually all these cards. So let's take a look here. The Six of Swords talks about going to this more serene, less hectic lifestyle way of being. Sometimes this could be a literal move from a place that is overwhelming, too stressful, where you feel burnt out, to somewhere else, right? Like literally, like changing jobs or moving from one city to another, right? Like if you live in the middle of the city where things are just always congested, there's always noise, you know, like you don't have a lot of fresh air, things like that. And then thinking about like, okay, I'm going to move to the country to, you know, just have some quiet time and breathe in the fresh air and not, you know, the streets are not so congested and things are just easy, right, in the country. So like that's an example. The King of Swords, male or female, has a plan. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have not thought this through already. There's an opportunity for you to move, whether that's metaphorically or physically, to a less toxic, less challenging, more easy flowing life or place. And you, as this king, male or female, you've already thought it through. You have a plan. You're just working on this plan right now. And this could be the thing that you're really passionate about, right? And all of that watch time is probably you researching, looking into things, planning things out for this move. It is sort of a bittersweet thing because you probably, this move, whether that's an internal or external thing, is something that, like, wherever you're moving from, you once loved, okay? You once called home. You once felt familiar and comfortable here. This thing, this place you once wanted, you worked hard to get there. Again, whether that's internally or externally. So now that you feel like you want to move from there, it is sort of a bittersweet energy. But I just think that it's life, right? Like sometimes you, let's just say you move for real, right? In real life, and you move from one house to the next and it's a perfect house and it has everything that you're looking for and you think you're going to be there forever. And then a year later, right, your desires change and you need a different space, right? So even though you love the space you're in and it worked for everything and that you wanted initially, well, your wants and desires have changed now, right? And now you're looking into something different. So that's an example, but that's very realistic and that's very common. And that's one of the beautiful parts about living in this life, right? Is that we can do these things, right? And we are, like, if you accept that things are ever changing, that you as a human and, you know, the growth and the maturity, right? Like we morph into different selves, into different ways of being. So if we're changing internally, then of course things are going to change externally as well, right? Like we need the external to match where we are internally. And this, where you are internally, is probably a very happy place, right? Like you feel positive most of the time. You feel lighthearted. You feel at ease, but there are things in your environment that are not that way. So therefore, you need to move toward a place that matches your internal. The sun here with the Ace of Cups, there's so much love. Okay, so much love surrounding your life, surrounding you right now. Healing, blessings. There's a lot of energy as it relates to like physical energy, feeling healthy, feeling strong, feeling like full of vitality and your capability, right? Like you know that your body is strong and is capable of doing whatever it is that you want it to do. So there's a lot that has to do, but even if you look at the picture here, like this person is just chilling, right? Like taking in the sun and feeling blessed, like think of you being in the Garden of Eden, right? Or like on a hill, right, full of flowers, and you're just like meditating and just sort of connecting with life. And you have a full heart, you have a grateful heart, there's so much love inside of you that you can give and pour out to your family, to your neighbors, to yourself, and this could also be like the vision, right? Like just complete peace, free of toxicity, free of heavy, dense energy, free of stress, free of worry, right? Just going to a place physically or internally where you're just at peace and you could just be you and focus on the things that you love the most, be with the people that you love the most. And that is all we can ever ask for, right? Like that's all we want in life. And so however that looks, right, it could look different ways for different people, but this is what's on your mind right now. This is what you're planning and what you are going toward, which is a beautiful thing. So this week, there could be real tangible opportunities for you to take those steps, doors opening to go down this path, and to make this vision a reality, right? For most of you, it's not going to be like the week where this vision comes to life, but maybe, right? But for the majority of you, it's going to be a week where you realize that you have an opportunity that you can take that will get you there eventually, okay? All right, Aries, that is it for today. I hope you got something out of this reading and you have a wonderful week. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Okay, Taurus, let's get started with your reading. I'm going to pull one card to see what the weekly message is for you guys. What's up with the Taurus this week? One card for the overall message this week. What's most important for the Taurus to know? Taurus. All right, bushfires, and it says fury on there. All right, so if you, I don't know, maybe some of you are going through some sort of like big moments where things are burning away, but instinctively as soon as I saw this card, it did feel as though you're watching this happen. So that may be true for the majority of you, whereas others of you are probably going through it. But yeah, it does feel like you are irritated, frustrated, maybe even angry. And it's a matter of like burning something to the ground. Which tells me that you probably have put up with a lot in order for you to get to a state like this where you're done, right? I do think that you can stay in a situation primarily because you just don't want to move, right? Like you don't want to take the action and get up and do something different or get out of a situation. But once it gets to this point, I think that you've had enough, right? Like it's enough. You're upset, you're furious, you're angry, like whatever the case is, and you're burning it to the ground. And it's a matter of like, whoever is involved, right? Whoever is in the line of fire gets burnt. So people should just not be in that line of fire, right? Like people should notice what you're going through, or how you're seeing the situation, what you're doing about it. And if they don't want to be affected, then they need to get out of the way. Right? But there is an element of destroy for cleansing, okay, to purify an environment, destroy it to purify self, purify a relationship, just be done with what is and start over, right? Because after the fire, nothing is left, but there's room for new growth that comes through. And I think that you know that, right? Because if there wasn't a chance that something was going to regrow, or, you were going to get back on your feet or something like that, like maybe you wouldn't do it. But I think you know that there is a chance that things will like rejuvenate, if that makes sense. Like you'll end up somewhere else, or, once you burn the things to the ground, like you're going to start fresh, you're going to start new. But again, it took you a long time to get to this place. I feel like maybe you put up with a lot, you tried different ways to keep it, to fix it, to make it better. But I mean, at the foundation, at the root of this entire thing, it was just something that like, just wouldn't stand anymore, like it was rotten. It was old, it was rotten, it was falling apart. It needed to go. And you're just like making room. You're making room for what needs to go so you can flourish, so you can revive, making room for what's to come, Four of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. Usually I only pick one, but both of these came out together. So there's a turning point. The wheel is turning. The seasons are changing. Life is moving forward. Nothing is ever the same, right? But in your case, it's a beautiful, beautiful transition. You feel hope. You see the light, like you see the benefit. You see the clean slate. And with that clean slate comes luck. It comes opportunity, love, union, partnership, companionship, acceptance. I'm getting acceptance and beauty, right? Like obviously beauty is essential in your life. You're reaching for it. You see it, like I said, like you see it and you're reaching for it. And maybe there's somebody else on the other side, right? Like maybe there is somebody waiting for you. Maybe there is somebody who's reaching back out and saying, come, let's go. Whether that's the universe or a literal person. And you're just like, okay, like I'm going, right? And whatever you're leaving behind is now turning to fire, right? Like it's burning away. And whether you're doing that or not, I don't know. But I think it feels as though, especially because the Wheel of Fortune is here as well, but it feels as though it's happening how it should happen. This is the right moment. And it wouldn't have been this exact person, or it wouldn't have been this exact opportunity if it happened any sooner or any later. It wouldn't have been this if you forced it to either end or you forced to stay, right? Like the universe, everything surrounding these circumstances, not just your life, but changes like had to be made in other people's lives, in other situations and scenarios, for everything to be like aligned in this moment, for you to be able to say, okay, I'm going, right? Like I have no other choice. But on top of that, like this is the best thing for me, right? Like if it happened an hour ago, it wasn't the right time. If it happened tomorrow, it wasn't the right time, right? Like it's now. Now is the right time. And I think that you see that clearly. But yeah, that's how things work, right? Like if you think about it, It's not just our lives that get rooted up and changed, you know, when these moments happen. It has to be the right moment for not just you, but everybody involved. You know, like if there is another person involved, things happened in their life for them to be in this exact moment with you right now to take advantage of this thing. Even if they're on the other side, right, reaching out, something had to happen in their life for them to be available and present to reach out for you. Do you know what I mean? All right, so you have death, which is very obvious with this reading so far, that there is change, that there are things that are burning away, going away, ending. The World also talks about that as well. Okay, the cycle is over. Something has completed. If something is complete, you can't, like, there's no way for you to continue, right? Because it's done, it's completed, it's reached its high point, it's reached its peak, it's gone as far as it can go. You know, like there's no more after the completion. And so you can't stay. You just can't, right? Like this could be your place of work that's closing down. You know, this could be maybe you're renting a house and that person sold it, you know, like the owner sold it. You know, this could be like literal endings in relationships or life even. But the sun comes up. The sun will always come up, right? You just have to go through the motions of the dark night and wait for the sun to rise again, obviously metaphorically. And literally, you know, of course the sun always comes up. It's always another day, you know, and the other day is a new start, a new way to see things, a new perspective, new ideas, new hope, inspiration, motivation, action, another chance. And that's just what it feels like right now. And I think it's when stuff like this hits an archetype like you, who is probably the most stable, unwavering, unmoving of the whole zodiac, right? Like you probably, like when these moments come into your life, it's profound. It's not easy, and it's profound, you know? Like some people can take these moments and just take it for granted and go with the motions and accept and, you know, like float with it like a feather. Whereas other people see these moments coming and literally it takes over their entire being, right? To prepare for the change, anticipate the change, you know, maybe even be anxious for the change, trying your best to save everything you can so nothing will change, but it's inevitable, you know. So I just hope that you see like you're okay and you just do your best and release the control, release the fear, be open to outcomes, be open to opportunities. You know, it may not look like you want it to look. It may not sound the best, or and for all you know, maybe it is, right? Like the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Wands, like this is beautiful energy. This is ideal energy in someone's life, right? Like it's beautiful. It's everything that one would want to feel and experience. The quality of a life like this is amazing. So yeah, maybe it is what, like, it will satisfy your needs, you know. You have the Four of Swords, Nine of Cups. This is going to provide peace, rest, a sense of calm, serenity, you know, away from all of the activity, away from the drama or other people's involvement in some way that only, like when there's too many people involved, right? Like it just gets all messy and stuff, and there's like unnecessary energy that's surrounding a situation. I don't feel like it's like that here, wherever it is that you're going. Okay. Yeah, you're going toward more fulfillment, emotional connection, feeling really, really good. And like I said, there is healing. I didn't say that, but there is healing, but the ability to like feel at peace, quiet, serene, connected with self, maybe even connected with nature, surroundings. But the Four of Coins here, I don't know, like you may overthink it. And the Four of Coins doesn't necessarily speak of overthinking, but that's how it's coming to me. But it's still understandable because you're in a healing phase that of course you're going to think about it. Of course you're going to think of what burnt away and where you're at now and what the future holds. Like obviously, right? But just be careful not to hold on. Be careful not to live in the past. Be careful not to, just put too much energy in what was. Accept that what was is no longer there, and be curious and focused on what's in the present and where you're going from there, right? Like there's 3 phases here: the past, the present, the future. Just don't hold on, too long. And then also know that like that baggage is meant to burn as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't bring these experiences, don't project, don't like try your best to be conscious and aware that the present situation or this new relationship or wherever it is that you're going is not where you were. So you can't treat it like it's what was. You got to treat it for what it is now. And even if you don't know what that is yet, because it's still super new, then acknowledge that and be aware of that as you are interacting and like dealing with this moment and what's to come. Just try not to just try not to be or treat it the same as you would any other old thing, because all of those old things have burnt away. And that includes certain behaviors of yours, that includes patterns and cycles of yours. Like, make a different decision, like, the behaviors and actions and thought processes that you have that would put you in shitty situations, that would make you unhappy, that would disappoint you, put you in situations where you would be disappointed. What did you do, right? Like, what did you bring to the table? How did you affect that? You know yourself better than anybody. So those behaviors, those actions, that mindset that you once had before that would attract these scenarios where you would feel let down or just not happy, like don't do that anymore, right? And try something different this time. I hope that makes sense. But it is a beautiful reading. It might not feel the best, but you're going somewhere beautiful with it. And just focus on the beauty and the hope and the light and the healing that comes along with the burning away of the old. Okay? All right, Taurus, that was your reading. I hope it helped in some way. You have a great, wonderful week, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey Gemini, welcome into your reading. Let's get started with one card for the weekly message. What's up with the Gemini? All right, so you have the card of North, and the word on it says expansion. All right, so whatever it is that you are focused on right now, what like the effort and focus and thought that you are putting toward something specific, it looks as though the more you work on it, the more time you spend on it, the more action you take toward it, it looks like you're going to get some good results out of that. And it may actually grow into something more than you expected, something bigger than you expected. Okay, there is a sense of expansion going on here, obviously. Jupiter may be playing a role in your life somehow. So you would want to see where Jupiter falls in your birth chart just because of the word expansion here. But yeah, and also the element of Earth. Okay, so the guardian of the North stands or coincides with the element of Earth. And so maybe you're bringing things into fruition at this time, right? Like the stuff that you've been trying to create is coming into real life. Like it's tangible, you can see it, you can feel it, you can work with it. And it's starting to take shape. And it's a result of all of the effort that you've been putting in, right? So it's just obvious, right? The more serious we take something, the more blood, sweat, and tears that goes into a thing, right? Like eventually we will get the results. Eventually we will reap the rewards, and it just seems like at this time you're starting to get those results coming through for you with whatever this thing is. All right, let's get some more info. What is in the personal energy for the Gemini? Mind, heart, body, soul. Gemini personal energy, please. The Hanged One. I'm reading these upside down again. All right, so the Hanged One or the Hanged Man. This energy is about surrender more than anything. Surrender, faith, trust in the process, right? Like maybe you've been working on this thing for so long and it's at a point where it's done, right? Like it's like a craftsman, okay? Like somebody who works with their hands, right? Like maybe like somebody who works with wood or with steel or clay or something like that. Like they've done so much work on a thing and now it's done and it's like, okay, like I can let go. I can release this now. And because the product is complete, right? And obviously this is metaphorical for whatever it is that you're going through, but you feel as though you've completed something. It feels like now let's just see what happens, right? Like you put something out into the universe. There's not a lot of work that you need to do on it anymore. There's not a lot of like fixing or fidgeting with it, right? There's not a lot of changes. It's just at its best that it could be at this point. And maybe this is you, right? Like you've really worked on self in some way. But now it's just a matter of like, okay, let's wait and see where this goes, right? Like, where is this going to take me? How is it going to evolve? How is it going to expand? And so because of that, it's just like a wait and see energy here. And while you're waiting and you're seeing, you're able to see different viewpoints of the situation, different facets, different faces, different sides of it. And so it's helping you get a better grasp of the situation or the thing. You yourself, right? Because this is your personal energy, have more perspective on the situation. You yourself maybe have more, what is this? Like inspiration in a way because you've been able to see something from a different sight, from a different level, and I don't know, it just feels really good. Like sometimes the Hanged Man comes out for people and they feel stuck or they feel like they can't make any moves. But in this case, it feels more like you have completed, something has come to completion and you have released it to see what happens, to see where it goes. And you're sort of just waiting on the word, the message, the result, right? Like what's to come of the thing. Okay. So We'll see how this plays out. All right, more detail for the Gemini situation. What's up with this situation? 7 of Swords. Four of Pentacles. It's a paradox in a sense. The 7 of Swords there is an element of escape, okay, with the 7 of Swords. But with the 4 of Pentacles, there's an element of being held or withholding or like not moving, okay? So you have the 6 of Swords here, 7 and 6 of Swords, and in between a 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, it does feel like I said earlier about being able to see something from a different viewpoint, right? Like sort of just waiting to see what happens. But there is a little bit of secrecy going on here. There's a little bit of withholding information in some way. And some would say, like, let's just say there are people involved, right? Like other people involved. Typically in our lives, there are people involved. So let's just say there are other people involved. They would think of this as a lie, or you keeping secrets, you withholding information. They would think of this in a way of like, why, like coming to their own conclusions of like why you're doing the thing, right? And so because of that, I do feel like there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of accusations going on that are probably not necessary. And I think that if you were to speak up and say something about what you're doing, like it'll shut all of that down, but you're not. Okay, you're withholding information, you're withholding your resources, you're withholding your abilities, right? Like you're not sharing fully here. And that's probably because you feel like you're in a state of pause, which you're okay with. So it's like, no, I'm not ready to tell you this yet. I'm not ready to invest in this yet, right? Like I'm not ready to make this move with you yet, you know? There's something that you want to see happen. You're waiting for a result. You're waiting for truth. You're waiting for something to play out in front of you, so then you can make a better decision. You've done enough. You've done all you can. You've worked on so much, right? Whatever this is that you are putting all of your focus into. And again, it could be self, right? It could be literal, you're working on yourself. But either way, whatever it is, you've come to a moment of like, okay, this is as far as I'm going to go for now. Once I see the result or what happens out of all of the work or the effort that I've put into something, then I'll make a decision as to where I'm going to take it next. Okay, so that's really how it feels. But like I said, if there's other people involved, they think that there's another reason. They think that there's another motive, or, you know, like you are like, they just can't help but be human and make it about themselves. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think that you really care too much to explain yourself, which is fine. And then you have the Teacher, Judgment, Queen of Swords. Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. The Judgment is definitely a moment of realization. And this is what I'm talking about. You're waiting for the results. There's awareness. There is things that like have come to its height, to its full culmination or something, right? Like a full moon energy. And out of that, I feel will come a profound sense of direction, meaning, and purpose. Once you are able, once the universe shows you the results of your efforts, right? Like it feels very much like there's a moment that you're waiting for, and you'll know it when you see it. And you've probably been praying and talking to the universe, talking and, I don't know, like talking to self or just thinking about this, but like in your heart of hearts, in your gut, in your intuition, like you just know that when that moment comes, you'll know, right? Like you don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know where it's going to come from, but you'll know it when you see it. You'll know it when you feel it. And then from that point, then you'll be able to move again and take another step. And it's going to create a path for you to go on. That it's going to feel like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to go toward. And you will know that with all of your essence, all of your soul here with the Queen of Swords, just making sure that the Queen of Swords is following her truth, being authentic to herself, not swaying or being influenced, right? Not being pressured or rushed or like, not, what is the word? Settling, right? And feeling like you can accomplish this thing. This thing can grow into something great and magnificent, right? Like with the card of expansion. And this Queen of Swords just has to stick the course, male or female, has to stay the course, has to keep going, cannot stop, no matter what perceived obstacles or halts come their way, right? Like they just have to keep going and pursue this thing. And the teacher here, which is the Hierophant card and the Rider-Waite, but the teacher is like coming through in a way of a leadership, right? Like leading by example, like I feel like somebody thinking to themselves, like, I have to show that this is possible, like there's another layer of motive around it to it doesn't feel like proving yourself, but it does feel like leading by example and like showing the world, showing maybe people in your life, maybe your children or like the future, right? Like just children in general, or I don't know, like that it is possible that somebody like you can do something as great as that, whatever that is, however that looks, and sharing your journey and sharing your wisdom and the experience that you've gotten through all of your failures and all of the moments that you got right back up and you kept going, and sharing your successes, right? So it's bigger than you probably thought it was going to be when you started it. It's grown and it's expanded into something more meaningful and profound. So that's super beautiful. I hope you got something out of this reading. I can't pinpoint exactly what it is. It's very vague and generalized for everyone. Everyone is going through this in a different, like the thing is different for everybody, but the message obviously is still the same. Okay, Gemini, well, I hope you have a wonderful, awesome week, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, Cancer, welcome into the reading. Okay, so let's see what's up with you guys this week. One card for the Cancer, please. What is in the weekly energy for the Cancer this week? One card for the Cancer. Okay, so you have expansion and the card of North. So it's the first card in this deck. And who had this? I believe the Gemini had this card as well, if I'm not mistaken. So there could be a correlation between you and Gemini energy, or you may have some Gemini placements just because you're a Cancer, you're so close to each other. But either way, So it's standing for the fact that there is something that you've been working on that is ready to expand, right? Like you have been putting in the effort, the blood, sweat, and tears day by day, month by month, hour by hour, whatever it is. And now it's like a machine, right? Like this energy right here, sorry, not the energy, this depiction right here, it looks like a machine. And I'm just getting that you have created a really good routine, right? Like the work that you have done before is paying off now, and the work that you're doing now will pay off later. So it just feels like it's what is this? Like, I don't know what they're called, but it reminds me of like a factory, right? Like it's just going and going and going. Ah, conveyor belt, is that what it is? I don't know. But it's something like that, right? Like maybe it's not instant, right? Like there's something that's not instant, but the payoff is big. And so like whatever you do this week, you're going to get paid out for that in 2 weeks, right? And then whatever you do then, you're going to get paid out in 2 weeks after. So I don't know, this is like work, a job, commission, something like that, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. So it could also be just expression, creative expression, working with your hands, creating things, building things. Just you have a vision in your mind and you want to expand on it. And when you expand on it, you're putting it into action. You're doing one thing after another to bring the vision to life. And then at some point, you're going to see it in front of your eyes. At some point, you're going to be able to touch it and hold it and it'll materialize, right? But I do feel like you've put a lot of effort. Okay. So you have really been working hard at this. I don't know if it's very, what's the word? Like, it doesn't feel like it's on display for everyone to know, for everyone to see, right? It feels like a quiet working. It feels like a private thing, like something that you've been doing by yourself. And you are a very private person anyway. So I'm not surprised at that, but I think that you're even going to surprise yourself, right? Like you were just working on this thing because you cared about it, because you were passionate about it, because it was fun, it was interesting, you know? It was something that you felt good doing. And I think that you were just doing it for that sake, not necessarily for something in return, but that is like one of the laws of the universe, right? Like it's for every action the reaction, right? So like what you put out you receive. So you're putting out amazing energy, creating, getting things going, um not even thinking about it, and now all of a sudden you see these payouts and this payoff, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and expanding, and it's just like, whoa, like I can't believe I did that, right? Like, where did this come from? But I do think it's a blessing. I do think it's a good thing. Okay. Personal energy, mind, heart, body, soul for the Cancer. Personal energy. Nice. The Emperor. Yeah, for the majority of you, this is a work situation. All right. So you've been putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. You've been clocking in, putting in the hours, doing the job, right? And yeah, like even in the expression of this, what is this, a ram? He seems happy, it seems like comfortable doing this thing, or like it's not work that you dread, right? Like you feel good doing the thing, whatever this is. For some, and I don't want to pinpoint it or pigeonhole it into like your 9 to 5 job. Okay. This doesn't have to be that, but it's definitely your energy coming through in a state of authority. Okay. In a state of being in control. And there's this masculine energy coming through of providing, giving like creating in the material world, right? Like masculine energy protects, provides, holds space for the vision to come to fruition. You know, like if you have a vision of making art, right? Let's give an example. Like you want to make art, however that looks, right? Like your feminine side of you thinks about the vision of what you want the art to look like, where you want it to be displayed, how you want to present it, how it feels to do the work, do the art. But the masculine side of you is the one that's literally creating space for it, right? Like, where are you going to paint? Where are you going to draw? You know, you have to go out and buy the material, right? Like, and then also the action that's taken to actually do the drawing or do the painting, right? Like, that's just an example. But here is energy of like physical nature, right? The physicality of bringing your creation to life. And you are taking action this week or at this time of life. All right. It's not just in the mind. It's not just a feeling. It's not just wishful thinking or fantasizing or pondering, right? Like this is the action that's taken to bring all of these creations to life and expand on them. Love that. Okay. Let's go into detail. What else for the Cancer, please? Ooh, nice. 8 of Wands. So fast moving energy. Like I said, taking action. There's a lot of action happening here. Communication, words, exchange of words. Definitely with this King of Swords. It feels very much like there's no mistake. There's no doubt. Like you have a strategy. You have a plan. Okay. With the Emperor and the King of Swords, like male or female, there's definitely a plan and a routine. You know, you have it planned out, laid out, written down. This is something that you do daily. You've put these practices into place, right? Like over time, you've seen what works, what doesn't work, to be able to streamline this approach or this strategy, basically, right? So that way you can get what you want and get the results that you want. But there's definitely quick, okay? There could be surprise moments happening at this time. There could be a lot of information coming through, communication coming through, and you here with the King of Swords Emperor, as all of this quick movement is happening, because it does feel very busy, like you have to remain solid. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't let your mind run. You can't allow your emotions to take over. You can't allow your moods to take over. Like you need to desensitize from certain things. You need to disconnect from feelings right now and sort of just try your best to stay in your mind, because this, whatever this is requiring a more logical, practical, consistent, approach. Sorry, there's a bug. So, and there's also something about help here with the 6 of Coins. So I don't know if this is like you needing help or you helping somebody else, but you could be getting or receiving resources, getting or receiving money in some way. Like this could be like a financial thing in some way that is coming at the nick of time. All right. There's something about that, like receiving assistance in some way. I don't know if you need funding or if you need like resources or money to create this thing, but it does feel like it's coming through right now. Maybe this is what you've been working on, is you've been working on ways to get money. You've been working on ways to receive assistance. You've been working on ways to obtain resources or acquire material or something like that. There's also like I help you, you help me energy. So whatever it is that you're working on, maybe your job requires, or it's this type of dynamic that you do where it's like, okay, I'll do this for you. You do, like, it's a team effort. It's a win-win situation in some way. So yeah, I mean, it looks great. I think that if there is a moment at this time of life or this week where you doubt or hesitate whether or not something's going to work out, if you doubt or hesitate whether or not you're going to receive what you need, like, this is a sign from the universe telling you to have faith, like you're going to get what you need. Like, this is going to happen. This is going to work out. The strategy that you've created, the routine you've created, the effort that you've put in is working. And you're about to see how much, like, how good it is, but not just that. You're about to see how it's expanding, right? You have Death, Eight of Swords, Knight of Cups. I don't feel that this energy is you. Okay, you're too focused. You're too driven. All right, like your mind is like on the job. Your mind is on, like, really focused on what you're working on, what you're trying to create here. I do feel that this is another energy that feels trapped and unable to make moves or unable to express their thoughts or their opinions. This person is not in the best state of mind at this time. They are going through a change. They're going through a major pivotal time of life where things are changing for them. Okay, so it feels very scary for them. They are anxious. Maybe they have a lot of anxiety at this time or fear. I feel like this person needs help. They need they need somebody to come through who can really listen to them and, like, be a shoulder for them to vent on. This person they need love and support at this time. Because they are going through something really heavy with the Death card here. Okay. They're going through something super heavy and they just sort of need to feel safe in some way. And I feel like they go to you for that. Like, you're their person to hear them out or to welcome them in, or, it's like a metaphorical hug, right? Like, sometimes as adults, when we go through really tough times, like, we just need to feel supported in some way. And if you have somebody in your life, like a parent or a friend or a partner who provides that for you, like, you may be that person to them. Do you know what I mean? Which I'm not surprised. I think that most Cancers are that person to at least one person in their life. But they're coming and they're just, like, holding on, right? Like, they're at their last breath, right? Like, they're about to, I don't know, like, they feel depleted. They feel like they can't hold on anymore, right? Like, whatever that means. And they do need help. They need some help here. And with the Six of Coins coming through, that's also verifying or validating that this is an energy of assistance and support. So not only is this like a material thing, but this could also be like an emotional thing. Now, I'm hesitant to say, like, you're the one going through this loss or this transformation, this death moment, but maybe for some of you, you are. I feel like if that is your case, as you've been working on all of this lovely stuff, right? Bringing your vision to life. In other aspects of life, you may be going through a transformative time. In other aspects of life, you may be feeling like you, even though you're making headway in all of the business and financial aspects of life, maybe the psychological state is needing some attention here, right? Like sometimes we focus so heavily on work. Unconsciously, we might do that to ignore, other problems that we have. And I'm not saying that you're doing that purposefully, but maybe, I don't know. But there might be something going on in the psyche that you have to deal with, right? Like, I don't know if you find yourself spending a lot of time thinking about your past, thinking about your childhood, thinking about these moments that you struggled, these moments that the hard times, right? Whatever those moments are for you, like if you find yourself thinking about that, then maybe there's something there that you need to face so you can finally heal from it and move on from it and ascend from it, right? Like this could be where like you're working so hard on your money because maybe when you were little you didn't have much, and so now you feel secure. Now you feel like you're in a good place financially. So it's like triggering these these memories or something like that, where you can go to the past and remember, like, and if you are doing that, like these are the moments that molded the behavior of you being a workaholic. Do you know what I mean? Like that's an example. So there is like a psychological aspect here. There is also a romantic aspect coming through where a partner in some way may feel like they are trapped. And there could be change going on in your relationship sector of life. And there should be some communication about this, right? Like if the both of you are feeling like you are tiptoeing around a situation that you can't really express, maybe it's time to express that. So that way you can get out of this Eight of Swords energy of feeling like, what is this? Like you just can't move forward, right? Like you can't express yourself, or you can't get out of a certain funk that maybe you're in a relationship here right now. But it's going to take some transformation from the both of you, some changes that need to happen in order to get out of this box. It feels like a box that the relationship is in, and there needs to be more like flow and openness and acceptance and understanding and making time for one another, right? Like instead of just holding it in, maybe the both of you are holding it in, not expressing oneself. Like the box needs to be broken down so the both of you can feel free to be yourself with one another, But yeah, I mean, overall, it is a lovely reading. Obviously, there is aspects of, somebody here going through a tough time. So I don't know, you could be juggling different facets of life right now that where some are really good and are on a really good high and you have really good momentum, while others need some work and need some TLC, right? To take care of it, to support it, to, make it feel good again. So you have a lot to work on, it seems like, at this time, Cancer. But you can do it. So hope you have a wonderful week and everything turns out well. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, Leo. Welcome into the reading. Let's see what is up with you this week. One card for the Leo group that I'm picking up on today. Leo, please. Overall weekly message. One card for the weekly energy. All right, so you have the card of Fury, bushfires. So like instinctively right away, I'm getting like something about watch me. Like I hear that loudly, watch me. You don't think I can do it? You don't think I'm capable of setting this to the, like burning this to the ground? Watch. It feels like someone is testing you, okay? Testing how far you will go, not knowing that you will go all the way. All right? Like maybe they just don't know this part of you, okay? And it is formidable. It is a force, right? Like that you have when it comes to what you stand for, your, how can I say, like what, yeah, like what you stand for, like who you are, right? Like if you were to be super disrespected, or if you felt like you took enough of certain treatment, right? Like maybe you were getting treated a certain way, and then you were trying to handle it as best as you could. You were forgiving, you were having conversations, but like it wouldn't change. People overstepped your boundaries, and that's a big one too. I feel like with the Leo energy, like you're loving, you're open-hearted, you know, you're open-minded even. Um and you can forgive and all the things, but like after you have done that for so long, after you have expressed your limits, and at some point somebody just like doesn't respect that, then that's when it's done and that's when it's over. And then that's when people feel your wrath, you know? Like there is a sense of there is a temper that you can have when you are completely over it and you've had enough. So I don't know if people are testing you, and I'm also getting something about like you're telling other people like watch me, right? Like do it again, watch what I do, right? But at the same time, you may be giving examples of when you burn things to the ground before, right? Like showing examples, like the last time somebody did this to me, this is what I did. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. The last time somebody disrespected me, the last time someone betrayed me, you know, the last time somebody overstepped the line or whatever, like this is what I did to them, right? Like you destroyed it. But yeah, like crossing the line is big. Somebody may cross the line. I'm getting for a lot of you, this is like in the workplace. 8 of Wands. Yeah, this is very much a moment, a spontaneous moment that people are not expecting. All right, you're burning something to the ground. You're destroying something in a click, right? Like at a moment where no one expects it, something just clicks. Something just clicks in you and you're done. And people feel it, and it makes a huge, huge impact. It's like stepping in an ant pile and destroying it, right? Like the ants don't know. They're just busy working. They don't know what's about to happen. You don't even know you're going to step in it, but you did on accident. And then next thing you know, their entire whatever it's called is destroyed, right? So it's like that. Like maybe it was happening for a while, you know, the conversations, you had to have conversations with people, or, you know, just sort of put your foot down. It was happening for a while, but I don't even think you knew that you were going to make this move when you make it. Okay. Like, I don't even think you were ready, and you woke up that morning, and I don't think you're like, oh, today I'm going to destroy it. It was just in the moment that it happened. Something triggered you, something that somebody said. It was just enough. And I don't blame you, you know? I don't blame you. Sometimes that's needed in order to prove a point, in order to, what's the word? Make an example of somebody. In general, you are fast moving. You have a lot of energy. You want things to happen fast. You're probably getting them done fast. You're probably doing away with things really quickly. I'm getting like the finishing touches, the finishing things. Like maybe you're about to like transfer or something like that to another location or whatever. Like you have to like finish things up so you can go. It feels like that. All right. What else for the Leo? Page of Wands. Oh, there's the Eight of Wands again. Definite confirmation. Ten of Wands, yeah. I'm hearing it's not your job. It's not your job, but it's like somebody has to do it, you know? There's a lot of pressure that's on you right now. A lot of pressure to do something on time, or like time is of an essence. You're on a timeline and there's just a lot to do. And there's so much to do that you wish you had more experience in a situation so that way you can do it better. So that way you don't feel so stressed out. So that way you don't feel like you have so much on your shoulders. Like you wish that you could handle things better, or you wish that there's something in, what is all that? I do have paint on me. There's something like that's happening that you're doing that you either you've never done before or you don't do it often. Maybe you just don't feel this stressed out all the time, and now all of a sudden you're stressed out. I do think that you still have a lot of motivation though, right? Like there's still a lot of enthusiasm, and inspiration to like do something or get all of this done together. It's like being at different places at the same time. It feels like that. So I do think that you're excited about the opportunity to be that. But at the same time, it still feels overwhelming and like there's a lot on your shoulders, a lot on your plate. Okay. And I do feel also that you're putting this on yourself. You've chosen this. It feels like that very much. You said yes, like whatever. And I'm sure for a reason, right? Because I don't think that you would do that to yourself for nothing. Okay, like there's something that you're wanting to get out of it. It's like, if I do all of this, I'm doing it because in the future, I'm going to have this, this, and this. Do you know what I mean? So it's sacrificing now for the sake of the future. Queen of Wands, male or female? Yes. The Queen of Wands archetype can definitely do it all. You feel so called to this thing. Like it is everything to you right now. For you to get this done, for you to be this person, for you to, whatever it is, I don't know what it is, right? Like I'm like, as an example, right? Like maybe you just got a promotion and like it's a really more like there's so much pay involved, but at the same time there's so much to do. There's so much responsibility, and you said yes to it, right? Knowing that you were going to have to work 24/7 and have like speak to results and, own something, right? That's big, right? So like that's an example. But you feel super called to it. You feel motivated to do it. You want it so badly. But it's still very stressful. Yeah. Yeah, you're just really busy right now. You're really busy. 7 of Wands is like all of these wands here are just things that are, person asking for this, a deadline here, a client there, family here, spouse there, kids there, self here, pets there, like just everything. And it's like, geez, like this 10 of Wands is a card, an energy that has to do with being overwhelmed, but still having the tenacity and the resilience and the strength, the physicality to do the whole thing. But it's just like, there's just so much. You go home at night and your feet hurt, right? Like you just want to rest. You don't even want to cook dinner. Like you don't even want to eat, like whatever. But I mean, either you're made for it, right? With the Hierophant, the teacher here, like this is your calling. This is who you are, right? Like not everybody can handle this. You're learning something, that's for sure. You're learning something about self. You may be literally learning something new, like in school, or because you're a Page of Wands here, things are new still. So, but at the same time, you still have a background, you still have history, you still have experience that you can use for your benefit to help you get through these moments as well, even if it's not the exact knowledge you need, because you're learning the knowledge. You still have been through moments like this in the past. Therefore, you know that you can handle it. And maybe you're just trying not to burn everything to the ground. Like maybe it's not a sense of like you're gonna burn it to the ground. Maybe you're trying not to. And it just feels like everything is being burnt to the ground. I don't know. But I think you can do it, like, obviously. I don't think that, you should hesitate or doubt yourself. And I don't think anybody else should doubt you either, right? Like, if anybody can do it, you can do it, It's just a matter of, like, just get through the day. And every day is closer to the end goal. Every day is closer to why you're doing this in the first place. And at some point, you're just going to be doing it and you're going to be the expert and it's going to be like nothing. So it'll get easier, All right, Leo. Well, you have a busy week, but you'll do well. I hope you got something out of this reading and you have a wonderful week. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, Virgo, welcome in. All right, so let's get started with one card for the weekly message. What's up with the Virgo this week, please? One card for the Virgo. What's up with the Virgo group that I'm picking up on today? All right, so you have the card of Lake, which has the word depth. Instinctively, I'm getting a thing about you not knowing how deep something goes. On the surface, it may look shallow, but there's so much more underneath. I don't know if this is like how you're coming across this week or if this is a situation that you are going toward. It has me feeling like there is a mirror effect happening, okay? It's almost as though you don't know what you're made of yet when it comes to this certain scenario or situation. All right. You may be caught by surprise as far as what you learn from a person or from a situation that you find yourself in. It does seem as though you're not expecting it. It feels like that. It feels like there is an element of taking something for granted, right? Like there is a lack of consciousness or like presence, not in general, not like with everything, but this thing. It does feel very much like whatever this one thing is, you just took it at face value, right? You saw what it is and you made your assumption from that point, right? Like you what is it, first impression, right? Like you had the first impression of it. But it wasn't until you started to sit with it for a bit, or if this is a place, it wasn't until you were there for a few days. If this is a person, it wasn't until you started talking to them, for a longer period of time, that you started to realize, like, I didn't expect this to happen, right? Like, where is all this depth? Where is all this where are these layers and I don't know, like substance coming from, right? You not knowing. So it does catch you off guard. I don't know if this is just like a friend or like a new lover or something like that that you just took for granted and almost passed it up, but the universe like pushed you toward it in some way and now you see that there's more to that person. Um but as far as the mirror effect goes, it's like also making you go deeper within as well, right? Like the more you get to know this person or the more you get to know this place or situation, the more you start to realize about yourself, even. There is something about like it feeling challenging, okay? Maybe a little intimidating, or like you're just a little scared to, like, every step you take forward, it's coming with a sense of fear or hesitation, even because maybe you don't really know like where you're going with it. But you're doing it anyway. Okay. So that's like the biggest thing here. You're doing it anyway. And the more you go into it, the more you realize about self, the more you realize about the thing. And then it just becomes like a whirlwind or a rabbit hole, or you're just completely engulfed with this energy or this person, this situation. And if you're not careful, right, like how are you going to come back up for air? You know, um, you can be you can sink, okay? You can fall, you can sink. You can hit the ground here if you're not careful. So you need to open your eyes. You need to sort of wake up. It's okay to go in the depths of the thing. It's okay to learn more about self and realize like, wow, this is what I'm capable of. That's amazing. But at the same time, it's like, okay, where's the limit? Where's the balance? Okay, the balance is coming through strong here. All right, so in your personal energy, you have the Champion of Wands. So this is the Knight of Wands in the Rider-Waite. 33. I don't know if that's significant or not, but it's standing out to me. But yeah, there is a spontaneous element here. Okay, this energy is very flighty. All right, so you may find yourself sort of like distracted. You may find yourself being pulled in different directions, but what the different things that are pulling you are things that you love, things that you're interested in, things that you're curious about, things that you want to experience, right? But there is a sense of like pushing the limits with this card and this energy that I'm getting. It does make me feel like this person, the Virgo I'm reading for, has like always comes through, right? Like you always come through. You're dependable in that way, whether that's for other people or just yourself. Like there's and you have this inner confidence and knowing about yourself as well. So I don't know how that portrays or that like looks in your situation, that there is this sense of follow through and dependability, but like an unwavering knowing that no matter what situation you're going into, you're going to be okay in the end. You're going to rise from it. You're going to overcome it. And so even though there is, and you know what, actually it's not fear that I'm picking up on. I think the situation itself is risky, but I don't think that you are fearful. Does that make sense? Like I'm picking up more on the thing itself is risky. The thing itself can be damaging. The thing itself, if it's not done correctly or if the person isn't made for it or whatever, can fail. But I don't think you think that way about yourself. I don't think that you think like, oh, I'm not going to make it. To you, it's like not even a thing. That's why you're coming through the Champion of Wands or Knight of Wands, because there's so much confidence that, you're not even thinking of it that way, right? You're not thinking of it, oh, I'm taking a risk. You're thinking of it more like, what is this? I'm going to follow through. I'm going to go all the way with this thing because I'm so interested in it. All right. Okay, let's see the details and what else is coming through for the Virgo, please. Page of Coins. Four of Swords. Six of Swords. Instinctively, I'm getting like a mental game. And it feels more so a mental game on self. Like you're tricking yourself so that you're not scared. You're tricking yourself so that you don't hesitate. Sometimes it's like, maybe like sports, I want to say, right? Like athletes, when they are in these big pressure moments of like an important game or moment in their career, whatever, and they have to show up and they have to perform to their like highest potential. I would imagine that they would need to trick their mind and like do something with their mind to refrain from the nervousness, refrain from the pressure, right? Like imagine being in front of like hundreds of thousands of people, like all of that, I'm sure it weighs on a person mentally. So there's so much like strength and control of the mind and the thoughts in these big moments, in these like the moments where it's like do or die, right? Like this is the only moment you have, this is the only chance you have, whatever that means. But that's how it's coming through. That's what it feels like. Now I don't like, that was a very intuitive feeling that I got, because pretty much none of these cards have to do with that. But going back to the cards, so Six of Swords, Four of Swords. This is mental energy. This is a need to relax, to calm down, to take a rest, take a breather, to move away from chaos, to move away from toxicity, to move away from stress. Okay, like it does feel very much like de-stressing. And there is potential, like here with the Page of Coins or the Girl of Coins. This is something that maybe you're not familiar with. Maybe you don't know how to de-stress. You don't know how to calm down. You don't know how to meditate. Maybe you are not comfortable with like being by yourself with your mind, being by yourself with your thoughts, right? Like sometimes, like the saying, like for some people, silence is loud. Okay. And I don't know if this is how you're feeling. Like if you're not doing something, if you're not distracted, if you're not putting your focus and mind onto something specific, if there's nothing going on because you took yourself out of this, right? Then what happens? Have you tried that, right? Like, and if you have, where does it take you? And are you comfortable with that? And if you're not comfortable with that, why? Because you do have the depths here. And if you're not the one who is physically taking away the distraction and all of the the hustle and bustle of life, like purposely, so that way you can de-stress and meditate, then the universe is going to do that for you. And then you're going to be stuck without things to do or things to think about. And then you have no choice but to go within the depths of your mind. It reminds me of this book I read not too long ago. I think it's a series called The Path of She. And it was about this woman who's like a corporate executive, and she was being called by, the goddess or whatever. But like she started to feel the pull toward spirituality, in a sense, the pull toward her like inner self and, the things that really matter. And, when she took a vacation to get away and really like follow the calling that she was receiving, she in the beginning she didn't know what to do with herself, right? Like she didn't know how to not work and how not to think of work and all of that. And she went through some challenges, like really getting out of that and then connecting to herself and to spirit and to the goddess and the path that she was being called to take. So it reminds me of that, like getting away from the city, getting away from life, getting away from all of the things that you think are important, right? Like your job, especially, responsibilities, obligations that maybe are not so necessary, things like that. So you can connect again with self. I'm taking all of these. All right. So you have Six of Wands, Justice, and there it is. The High Priestess, connecting with self. Such a beautiful just depiction of the High Priestess. I love this card. So yeah, I mean, there is an inner calling, okay, and we probably sensed that, for sure. No matter what journey you're on, something is pulling you toward authenticity, something is pulling you toward your soul and like the things that actually really matter in this lifetime, like while we are alive here. Six of Wands, you are overcoming your mental state, you're overcoming your stress, you're overcoming your anxiety, you're overcoming all of this overthinking and whatever chaotic state, whether that's physical or emotional or mental that you have been in, right? You're coming out of that now after this rest and relaxation and just doing away with all of these things, that were just taking so much from you. So it does feel like you're overcoming this, but Justice and the High Priestess coming here, these are really big cards that are coming together, right? Like and it's next to the Six of Wands, so it's making me feel like you are in a moment that is profound, right? Like you'll remember this year, 10 years from now, you'll remember what you are going through here. It feels like Justice is like, let's balance out the scales. Let's balance things out. If you've been too far on one extreme of things, right? Like we need to come back to middle ground. We need to come back into alignment. How do you do that? By being in touch with your spiritual higher self, right? Like a lot of people think they're constantly chasing the void. They're constantly chasing the emptiness inside, and they think it's relationships, and they think it's sex, and they think it's money, and they think it's attention, and they think that they have to like be on social media and post and have 100,000 followers or whatever, right? Like they're constantly chasing, and at the end of the day, what we all end up like when we are in a state of chase, right? And we're looking for something that's missing, it's always spirit. It's always connection. It's always a a consciousness and awareness of life, of nature, of self. It's always this, right? Like this intangible thing, because we're 3D creatures and we live in this 3D world, right? Like, of course, it's beautiful and we're lucky to have these senses that we use. But at the end of the day, we're spiritual beings, you know? And because spirituality and this type of connection is not literally tangible, we forget that this is what's missing in our lives because we're so material, right? We're based in the material world. And I'm not saying that you're like completely like that, right? Like if you're here listening to tarot, like I'm sure you have an idea of spirituality and you are connected. But just stop and look around, right? Like what is it in your life that is just part of the matrix? What is it in your life that you're doing just because society expects you to do it? You know, like there's so many things that we do that some things we know, some things are like we're completely blinded to because we're programmed. So I don't know, maybe there is an awakening that's going on here. Even if you thought that you were already awake, there's always more to that. There's always layers. You could always go deeper. Um, and maybe that's what you're doing. Anyway, I don't know. That was probably a long reading. But thank you for listening. I felt compelled to say everything I said, so I hope it helped somebody out there. Yeah, I hope you have a great week, Virgo. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. I just wanted to share the book I referenced real quick in the Virgo reading. So it's actually called Tale of the Lost Daughter by Karen Clark. It is on the Path of She series. It was a really easy read and I really enjoyed it, especially if you are like sort of new to the path toward spirituality or even, you know, connecting with your higher self, especially if you're a feminine, obviously connecting to your dark feminine specifically. Um, you know, it's not like the most profound book I've ever read, but it was good while I was reading it. And older parts of self did resonate with that. So if you are in that process now of, you know, realizing that there's more to life, right? Like there's something missing and you're trying to find it and your soul is being called towards something, this is a good read. She also has the book of Sabbaths on the same series, The Path of She. I haven't read this one yet, but I'm sure it's going to be, you know, just as good. So just wanted to share that with you guys if anybody was interested. All right, thanks. Bye. Hey Libra, welcome in. All right, so let's see what's up with you this week. One card for the weekly energy, overall weekly message for the Libra. One card, please. Libra. Gravity and groundedness. Okay, so right away I'm getting like the energy of falling. So I don't know if this is like metaphorical, like you're falling for someone, you're falling for something. It does feel very whimsical, you know, like just dreamland. Can't stop thinking about the person or the situation, right? Like when you are just talking to somebody, you just meet somebody and you really, really like them and you have like a really good time or a really good conversation or whatever, something just hits, something just connects between you and another person, right? Like people tend to go into these more fantastical, whimsical, romantic vibes, right? Frequencies. And I don't know if something will arise that's going to have you wake up and kind of wake up from that. Because it's like groundedness and gravity's like it's more of like open your eyes type of energy. It's grounding, it's realistic, right? Like come back to the real world, you know? And maybe if it's not you connecting in those ways with another person, Maybe there is something about you at this time that you're just not connected to reality in this 3D material plane. And so you could be just a lot of daydreaming, fantasizing, just off in other worlds, in your emotional, spiritual essence, right? And I don't know if you are dropping the ball on responsibilities, or, like things are just going to start to pile up on you if you're not taking care of the real world stuff. Now, trust me, like, I'm not a big fan of real world stuff, right? Like, I'm always pondering, I'm always in dream world, and, I'm really odd, to be honest, in like real life. But I do think that this card is coming up for a reason, to like warn you or remind you that you do have responsibilities, or that there are things that need your attention in the 3D. Okay. All right, what else? What's in the personal energy? Yeah. It's crazy how tarot and oracle, just divination, work, right? Like, we're literally talking about not being in the 3D world, in the present reality, and being off somewhere else in the spiritual, emotional place. And the high priestess does govern all of those realms. For some of you, you are literally like tuning in to your psychic abilities. You're strengthening them. You may be practicing meditation, astral projection, astral travel, lucid dreaming. Yeah. Like there is an essence here. Like, even if you don't know it, like your dreams are probably pretty profound, or you're just like your senses might be heightened, you know? Maybe you are sensing that there's something around you. Another aspect of this could be like your higher self, like you're really in tuned with your higher self. So there's a lot more that you can see that you couldn't see before, right? Yeah. There's things that you see now that you couldn't see before. And I don't know what that is about. I don't know if that's like truth, or like you have tapped into a gift that you didn't know was dormant, right? And now you see more, you know more. This is like an all-knowing energy as well. It's super powerful. I don't think that you are too vocal about it. Like, whatever it is that you know now that you didn't know before, like, you're keeping to yourself. There is a very strong observant energy. Your observation skills are like really good right now. Therefore, the better observation, the better perspective you have, the better insight you have on a situation or on a person. Seven of Coins, Ace of Wands. Nope. Yeah, it's like if you are fixing something, nobody knows. If you're working on something, nobody knows. The Seven of Coins is about refining something, right? Like seeing where something can be better and then like making it better. So there is literal work that you're doing in this 3D world, but I think while you're doing it, you're probably off in your own world as well. Okay. So like you're working with your hands. There's something tangible here, that you're working on. But as you are fixated on it and refining it and making it better, you are off in your own world doing this by yourself on your own. Nobody probably knows what it is that you're working on. Ace of Wands, there's so much passion, motivation, inspiration. You know, like if this is like a new hobby or a new interest or something like that, like you find yourself just going down the rabbit hole and sort of going all in with this topic or this thing. The moon here is coming through in ways of like that fantasy, like essence, right? The moon with the high priestess, like you're literally, I don't know who I'm reading for, but this type of person is a very intuitive person, right? Like you have to know that. You have to know that you have gifts. You know, you have to know that you have abilities. And maybe you're starting to work on it. I'm getting something about like you knowing that you've had abilities and therefore you keep yourself away because you don't want other people to know, or you feel ashamed, or, you know, like you need to hide it or something like that. Like you work on your stuff alone. You like to maintain a quiet, private life. And inside of that life is your whole world, is a fantasy, but it's real to you, right? Like if an outsider were to be coming in to your home or, you know, wherever it is that you work on this stuff, right? Like they probably wouldn't get it, or at least you think that they won't get it, you know? Maybe there's somebody out there who actually would, but you just don't give them the chance. There's something about whatever this passion is, it is uncertain. It comes with the level of uncertainty and not knowing like how it's going to end or where it's going to take you. Okay. But the high priestess sort of like in you, that this part of you just knows to have faith and to trust because you feel so good and strongly about this Ace of Wands, this new direction that you're going on. To you, it's like it has to take you somewhere positive. If you feel so connected to it and you feel like, you know, this is everything that you want, this is all you think about or whatever, like you're trusting that the universe is going to take you where it needs to take you. The uncertainty of this situation is not so uncertain to you because you're coming through as the high priestess. It's probably uncertain to other people, right? Like if other people were to know about it, they would be like, are you sure you want to do that? Right? Like they would probably have a million questions. And you're not about asking these questions because you really don't care about the details, right? You care about the feeling, the instincts. You care about the feeling, right? Like more than anything, how it's making you feel. And this could be a person, okay? So this could be a person that you are completely like involved with. And even if you don't know everything about them, you know how they make you feel. To you, that's enough. But there is a warning here with the moon, you know, because the moon shows us a certain picture, a certain image in its moonlight, and we see something in that way. But that same thing looks different when the sun comes up, right? Something like, and that's for anything, right? Like if you see it in the dark, if you see it at night, and you think you know what it is, when the light shines on it, when the sun comes up, and you see it for what it actually is, it looks very different. It is very different. So this card of groundedness and coming back to reality is essential. And I think that whether you try to do this purposely or it's happening on its own, this week or at this time, you're going to realize and get a wake-up call. Something is going to snap you out of it. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, this is not a good thing. Who knows? It could be a good thing, but it's just not the fantasy that you're living right now. Okay? And but at the same time, I can't forget that you have this energy, that you're in this energy. Even if you're feeling romantic and you're romanticizing this whole situation, you're still aware that you need to be super observant of this thing, this person. You still know that you have to like get the truth or get the facts out of it. There's somebody in your environment here who is a Knight of Wands, male or female, who it just has so much energy. So much energy. It's taking a lot of your time. It's taking a lot of your, you know, mental space. Um I mean, they create, they make things happen. I don't know. I'm getting this strong sense that you either they have not seen you or you have not seen them. Like something just looks different from what it truly is. Like look at all of these images. You can't like I understand that here in this image the face is up front, right? Like you can see it, but it's the moon, right? So that is an image of like let's just say a filter, rose-colored glasses, right? Because you're seeing it from the lens, from the light of the dark, right? The light of the moon. Otherwise, you can't see the person. And I do think that this is you, but I don't know. Like, have they not seen you in person? Do they not know you? You know, you're not being vulnerable, you're not being open, right? With the high priestess, there's privacy at hand here, private. Maybe I don't know. It's something mysterious for sure. You're creating this whole persona? Are you creating like a persona? It has me feeling funny. I don't know who I'm reading for. But this is not for everybody, that's for sure. There is definitely dark energy here. Whoever is working on this, very intimidating. Maybe for some of you, you're working with like a dark goddess. And when dark goddesses show themselves, it's a strong, strong energy, right? Like almost, it's not even scary. It's not creepy. It's not anything. Like it's this inexplainable feeling that you get. Because I can't say for certain that this is evil, that this is mischievous. I can't say for certain that this is good, even, right? Like, there's just an intense presence here. And if you are working on your gifts and your skills, especially as a practitioner or a witch, you could be summoning something that is primal, that is ancient in its nature. But otherwise, trying to step out of that and just coming into more real world stuff, there's a lot of energy going into something that you're really passionate about. And you're doing this in the quiet. It's taking a lot from you to be seen. It's taking so much energy from you to be seen, for you to come out of your shell, for you to come out of your house, for you to show who you are, to be authentic, to be open, to be truthful, right? In your being, in your essence, to show people and the world, or even this one person, what you're about. So much courage is going into this. But it's needed in order for something to be real. And maybe you feel that by you doing that, it's going to take away the fantasy. It's going to take away the romance. But you don't know that. You don't know what it's going to do. It's going to make it real, though. Okay? And maybe that's another thing, right? Like maybe you don't want it to be real. Maybe you're not used to relationships or these types of scenarios to actually manifest in your real waking life. Maybe you're used to the dream, the fantasy, right? The stuff that you do on the phone, right? Like the facade, the mask. Maybe you're used to that. But there is an opportunity for you to come out, to come clean, to show yourself. And it's taking a lot of courage for you to do. But it's, I think, in your benefit, because it's going to have you facing certain fears so you can overcome them and grow as a person, right? So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go for you. I feel like there's a lot of mystery and secrets and dark energy here in this reading. It's a lot for me to really like sit with, like, honestly. And I try to like just say everything like I'm feeling, but like I want to get out of this reading, and I don't even want you to feel bad about that, like me saying that, but it just makes me feel like I want to get out of this reading. So I don't know if you're feeling like that, like you want to get out, right? You want to get out of the trapped door, the perceived mental, trap that you have created, and just be free of it. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe that's what you're feeling. I don't know. But I hope it helped, Libra, and you got something out of it, okay? We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, Scorpio, welcome in. All right, so let's get started and see what's coming through for you this week. Scorpio, please. One card for the weekly overall message. Oh, that one felt it. Okay. Ooh, nice. Magic. And the word with it is alchemy. Beautiful. So much power is coming through. I mean, I do think that you are always generating power, whether it's light or dark, but it still exudes from your being most often. But maybe this time or this week, you're very, like, you're more present with it. You're more aware of it. Maybe you are focusing your energy towards something specific instead of just radiating randomly, right? Like, I do always think of Scorpio as an orb just bouncing around, right? Wherever you go, you're going with an orb of fire, an orb of power in some way. But maybe at this point, not maybe, it does feel like you are trying your best to consciously direct it toward something. Um, and I don't know if, like, something is telling me that there's a little bit of hesitation, okay, or doubt. Like it's happening, but is it happening at the rate that you want it to, or is it happening, like, is it how you thought it would be? There's something that's off, like something missing from what you're trying to accomplish. And so maybe, a lot of your energy is focused on that missing element, right? Like if you think of a potion, right? And you have all the ingredients, but one, and so it's like, what is that missing ingredient? And so maybe that missing ingredient is confidence, is faith and belief, right? Like maybe it's easier than you think, right? Whatever it is that you're missing, maybe it's at your fingertips. Maybe you have it innately, you just haven't tapped into it, or something like that. And so I would work on self, and also your belief that you can do the thing, that you are powerful enough, that you have what it takes, just being you, right? Like you don't need anything more, you don't need anything less, like you have it all already. um and once you really like hone in on that and believe that, um I feel like you'll start to see this intention work, whatever it is that you're working on, like really propel, and start manifesting and seeing these things come to fruition. All right, one card for the personal energy. Okay, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a little tricky. I'm hearing, who do you need to convince? Who do you, like, what do you need to prove? Who do you need to convince? What do you need to prove? Not necessarily that this card speaks to that, but it does feel that way. I'm also getting like this sense of like overcompensating. Okay. So you got to be careful with the words that you use when you are explaining something to someone, or like you're trying not to show all of your moves. Maybe you're not trying to show your power, right? Like what you're working with, you know? And that doesn't have to be like energetic. It could be like something physical that you own, right? Like maybe you have money, or like something in your back pocket, so to say, that gives you a leverage or gives you the upper hand, right? So in turn, power, right? But you don't want people to know that for some reason. And so when you are communicating, you're keeping this, like, a certain aspect out. You're keeping something hidden. You're keeping something secret. This is also telling me that you are trying to get out of a situation without anybody knowing about it, or like getting out of a situation with making the least amount of impact. Okay. But because of that, it is going to create you like looking suspicious, to other people, because you are coming across like something, but you're not telling. Okay. So you want to be careful with that. If that matters, right? But in general, you are trying to get away without being caught. Okay, let's go into more details. I mean, this is also like storytelling. This one flew out. Oof. Five of Wands. Storytelling, embellishing, exaggerating, like not being completely truthful. Maybe saying the truth, but in the truth is sprinkled like other fabricated details for whatever reason, like trying to throw people off. Which, I mean, if that's what you're doing, then okay. I just don't know how that's helping to you. It's helping to you. Oh, cards are just fine. To you, it's the only way. But why not just like tell people, and if you don't want to tell them, then just say like it's none of your business. If it's none of their business, it's none of their business. Like there's no need to add in extra. It's just a matter of staying silent and just being like, it's none of your business. But I'm sure you have a reason. Five of Wands, Death, Girl of Swords. So the Five of Wands comes in when there's just too many people in the kitchen. There's a lot of like personal choices and opinions, and people saying one thing and another thing, and it's just not lining up, right? It's just a little chaotic, too much going on. And I do think that with the Girl of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, you're trying your best to like slice all of the unnecessary stuff. Okay? Like slicing as in doing away with people, situations, circumstances, energy, drama, tension, whatever is unnecessary and whatever is not required for this alchemy, this magic that you're performing here. I mean, if you think about like spell work, even prayer, I don't like intention work in general. if things are too chaotic, if there is distraction, if you're under the influence, not to say that you are, but that's an example of like, these are all heavy energy that affects intention. Okay, so like I'm a big believer, if I'm going to do intention work, I need to be like clean. My body needs to be clean and fresh. I need to have my surroundings clean and fresh, right? Like my mind needs to be rid of distraction, rid of tension. Like there's work that goes in to manifestation, to alchemy, to spell work, intention work, whatever it is. And even if it's not like one night that you're doing a ritual, and this is a thing of like consistent day over day over day over day work, because that's also, right, like intention work as well, when every day you're doing something that's going toward a goal. Even if it's like that, like there still should be a sense of cleanliness in your environment, right? Like within and without. So I do think that with this Page of Wands energy, you are trying to clean up house here. That could be literal, metaphorical. And for the sake of change, for the sake of transformation, here with the Death card. But again, no one knows that you're doing this. And there's a lot of strategy that comes into play with the Seven of Swords, which I know that you're good at, but it's the planning, right? The planning goes into this. Heavy planning to make sure that you have like thought of every aspect of the situation. You have the Tower and the Four of Cups. Man, there's definitely an ending. Okay, you got Death and the Tower here. Temperance. King of Coins wanted to come out. You're definitely let down, okay, with the Four of Cups, or somebody is let down. And I don't know, I honestly don't know if this is you or them, because got a King of Coins here. And it's funny because I was getting Sagittarius earlier, like as I was speaking, but I wasn't sure how that was coming into play, and now the Temperance card has shown up. So I don't know if you have Sagittarius placements, or you know a Sagittarius, or you need a Sagittarius, like I don't know. But either way, you're let down. Okay, this is not like what you wanted. This is not what you expected. This is not how you thought it was going to go, but for whatever reason, it's going this way. I'm going to get clarifiers on the King of Pentacles in just a second, but for whatever reason, something needs to be done with and over with, right? So you are working on building this thing, whether that's you have been working on it for a month, 10 years, 5 days, it doesn't matter, right? Like there was something that you had a vision, you had a belief, and you were putting effort into this lifestyle or this belief system or this job, this relationship, like whatever it is, just for it to crumble, just for it to be over. And so it's saddening, but Temperance is here to say, like, this is the alchemy at the end of the day, whether you know it or not, right? You got the card of alchemy over here. Magic, it literally says alchemy. And the Temperance card is literally doing that, right? Like in the pictures of the Temperance card, even in the Rider-Waite, right, there is an angel who is bringing two forces together. So whatever it is, I don't know, I feel like you don't know I feel like some of you are thinking about the loss and the fact that things are over or whatever, not realizing that you're literally creating it somehow, some way, right? Whether consciously or not, you've created this, you've alchemized this by your energy, your action, your intention, right? Like the work that you're doing in some way, you've created this ending. For some of you, you did it knowingly, you knew it, right? But nobody knows that you did it. Okay, it's coming through as though it's just natural. It's just nature, right? Nature is taking its course. Nature is, like things are naturally changing for whatever reason. But there's something in the process that you did. No one knows about it though. Okay. Which, I mean, it's a very scorpionic thing. I do think that sometimes you do it unconsciously, right? And then you look back later and it's just like, dang, like you thought about the thing you said, you thought about the move you made, which is like a catalyst in most cases to karma and change, right? Like you tend to bring that into the lives of others. So what's up with this King of Coins? Male or female? I don't like, for some of you, I do think it's you. Like this change, this ending is elevating you. It's leveling you up. And it could be like something unrelated, right? Like let's just say, for example, maybe a relationship is over, but now that the relationship is over, you're getting paid more, right? Or you got a promotion, or you got a job that pays higher, right? Like, or vice versa. But that's what it feels like. And sometimes it's like that. Like I used to say that all the time because I would go through like stupid like relationships, and then but I was good financially. And so, but then at the time when I would like get into a relationship, then something would happen to my finances. So it was always this thing of like what to pick, until I realized that happens and there was a pattern there. And then I started to work on that to be able to have both, right? And thank the universe, things are beautiful now. But I did see that as a pattern throughout my earlier years, throughout my life, like especially not being aware of it, and looking back, it's like what that would happen. But anyway, okay. 9 of Cups for this King of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Two of Wands. This King of Pentacles, male or female, whether this is you or somebody else, wants change. Like they want it so bad. And they have made a decision around that. This could be you. I'm feeling strongly that for the majority of you, this is you. You need the change. You're craving the change. You want the change. You feel probably stagnant, right? Like there is the 9 of Cups is a feeling of being satisfied and content and like just feeling really good, right? Like there's an emotion tied to this. An emotion tied. And when you start feeling good, especially for those of you who might be looking for more materially and financially, once you start to feel good, that is going to create opportunity in every other area of life, right? Like if you're feeling shitty, don't expect to win the lotto. If you're feeling shitty, don't expect to get the job. If you're feeling shitty, don't expect a relationship either. Or don't expect things to be blissful and beautiful in your relationship, right? Like it's a mindset. It's a choice, right? Like happiness is a choice. People don't agree with that until you become enlightened enough and experienced enough to understand what that means. But yeah, somebody here wants change so badly, and they've chosen it. They've chosen change. Therefore, things are ending. And you're just sneaking off in the night. It's still beautiful. I mean, Temperance here is like your guardian angel just taking care of little Scorpio here, right? Your childhood self, right? Making sure that you're good, you're taken care of, you're protected, you're going down the path that you need to go on. And I know that this picture doesn't show the actual guardian angel the way the Rider-Waite does, but it just gives me this sense of like this younger, more innocent part of you is going down a path, not necessarily aware of where he or she is going, but in the background, hovering over, is the guardian angel of the Temperance here, making sure that this essence, this spirit, this side of you is taken care of. Do you know what I mean? So like, it does make me feel like childhood memories, childhood, obviously trauma, can be coming up at this time. Like just feeling like you need to be held, you need to be loved, you need to be seen, you need to be protected. And even if you don't have all of those things in the real world, you can and do have it in the spiritual world. You just have to tap into that and believe that. Okay. There's probably a lot more to unpack here. It does feel like that, especially with these big cards coming through, like Death, the Tower, Temperance. But I think this is enough for today. You know, it's just keep your head up, watch your intentions, watch what you're saying and doing, and just try your best to like focus on what you can control, the important things in life. Like facing the letdown, so that way you can use that as fuel for this power and this magic that you have, right? Using the letdown, using the hurt, using the death, the change, the transformation as the power, fueling the light, fueling this fire, and directing it to something great, right? That change that you want so desperately to have. All right, Scorpio, I hope that helped in some way and you got something out of it. Hang in there. And I think that eventually you're going to see what a blessing this situation created. The ending to this situation is actually the blessing. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, Sagittarius, welcome into the reading. All right, let's get started and see what's up with you guys this week. One card for the Sagittarius group that I'm picking up on today. Who am I reading for today, please? Sagittarius, one card. Weekly energy. All right, so you have endurance, and it is the card of the Rock, number 20. Okay, so this week may ask you to use up a lot of your energy, right? Whether that's physical energy or spiritual, mental, but it is tricking the mind, I feel, so that way you're not so preoccupied with like reasons why you can't do a thing. It's like getting all of those thoughts out of your mind and just focusing on the next step. The step right in front of you, right? Like not focusing too much either on the future and like where everything is going, but more so just one step at a time, so that way you don't get overwhelmed, that way you don't lose momentum, right? Like sometimes when we need to have endurance and we start thinking about like the timeline mostly, or like, oh, like I just need a few more days or a few more hours, I'm almost done. Like we start to our mind starts to play tricks on us, you know, and maybe we lose energy, we lose inspiration, or we lose the stamina that we need to continue forward. So I think it's important this week that you just focus on the next step, what's right in front of you, whatever it is that you can control, so that way you can endure and just keep going, right? Like it's an energy of just keep going, like don't stop. You're almost there. And then that also creates this thing of dependability. You know, like maybe you are somebody that people need to depend on right now for something. And so the rock being that type of archetype, right? Like that type of person that is dependable, that is predictable, that people can count on to follow through with their whatever it is that they say they're going to do, you know. All right, so you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, like this is an energy of like you've been working on this. You've been working on this for quite some time already. You're just in the midst of it, right? Like you're not just starting, you're not almost done, you're right in the middle of the thing. And you have put in some work already, right? Like it's not like if you haven't, you have, so therefore you should be seeing some results, but the project or the goal or whatever, like it's nowhere done yet, okay? But this is a direct result of the effort that you've put in. Like whatever result you expect from those efforts, you should know what that's going to look like based off of the effort that you've put. So there is something in your energy about like expecting a certain result already, and you should be seeing that this week or at this time of life. Some of you are using your skills, your talents, things that you're learning. Maybe you're working with your hands a lot, you're building things. There is an element of like tools and accessories or like things that are needed to create. Okay, so those topics or concepts are coming into play this week as well. So using what you have, being resourceful, I'm also feeling. Yeah, using what you have and being resourceful. You have the Seven of Cups, the Magician, and the Emperor. Okay, so for some of you, this is work, right? Like this could be your 9-to-5 job or just the work that you find yourself putting into something. But you do have a strategy, you have a vision. And there is an energy of you being the leader, or you leading this group, or you leading this situation in some way, because you're the one that has the strategy. You're the one that has the plan, right? Like whether you have done this before or not, there is still an element to your personality or your character that where other people like depend on you to create or initiate, right, the task, and to tell other people, okay, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, this is how we're going to do it. Because without you as that person, this goal or this project is probably never going to get done. But there are options. There's a lot of open ground here. There's open, like an open, what is this? Like it feels like the options are endless, or the direction that you can take to pursue these goals are different, right? Like you don't need to just focus on one path. You have options to do other, like there's more than one way to complete the thing. So maybe you have, like you're in a state of analysis in a sense, right? Like coming up with the best strategy, the more effective strategy, the more efficient strategy for you to get the thing done. Because you want to do it correctly. You want to have like, make sure it comes with a good sense of like quality, that it endures. Do you know what I mean? That it's like a good foundation, that that's structured correctly, or that it's capable of like standing on its own, whatever this is, I don't know. But that's what it feels like, that you're building something or working on something that needs a really solid foundation to be able to endure a lot to come. And this could be an aspect of self, but it's also, I'm feeling something that's in the material as well, in the material world. But you're definitely working, like the Emperor and the Magician. This is, you can create anything right now, right? Like your skill set is so strong. Like you've been able to, throughout your life, like acquire different skills to be able to use them, bring these skills together, right? Like you're the right person for this because of your experience or because of your ability to put a plan together and execute, you know? So yeah, it's very strong. It's very masculine as well, even if you're a feminine here. It does have like masculine vibes because you're physically working on something, right? You're producing something. Judgment, 5 of Wands. I would be careful not to focus too much on your, I don't know if this is like reputation or just caring about what people think of your work. Okay, so be careful to not go down that rabbit hole of caring too much about what people think about your craft or the opinions people have about the work that you put in. It's do this because you love it. Do this because you're passionate about it. Do this because it excites you. It, you know, it's something that you want to do. And granted, like, especially if you're a creator in any aspect, right? Or if you're an artist in any aspect, you know, like, how can I say, like, no judgment here, but I would imagine that people like that do think of what the world would think about their work, you know? Like that is an aspect that goes into the work that they do. But in your case right now, I think it's just more about the experience and the execution being what's important, right? Like if you have a really solid plan and strategy, you've done the research, you know, you have the right people for the job, or it's the right moment, right? The right team, like however this looks, like trust and have faith in that. Trust and have faith in your capability to get this project going or fulfill something that you're working on. But once you start to go into this mental state of, you know, what am I going to look like? What are people going to think about me? What are people going to say about me? Like, you know, thinking of all these results from other people's opinion, then it's going to take you away from the quality of the project or the work that you're putting in. Okay, so I would strongly urge you to like try to control the thoughts there. Because the 5 of Wands can easily sneak up on you. All of the sudden, you have expectations that, whether these are expectations that others have put on you or that these are perceived expectations that you have of yourself. All of a sudden, this can creep up. And next thing you know, you're trying to satisfy all these different facets of the situation instead of focusing on the craftsmanship itself. But judgment, yeah, like this is a really good time to do the thing. Put yourself out there, you know, take a risk in some way. I'm feeling, it's like, I'm getting this sense of like, if it's not now, then when, right? Like if you're thinking to yourself like, oh, I'll do it someday, I'll wait until next summer, you know, I'll wait until, I move, you know, like whatever, right? Like I just feel that these are going to, like, what if next summer there are other things that are happening in your life where, you know, maybe you won't have time for this. Do you know what I mean? Like, if not now, when is how it feels. Yeah, and the Knight of Coins here is just telling me, like, you know, just be practical, realistic, make sure that the things you're doing are doable and feasible and not like outlandish, or, you know, don't try to just like don't try to overdo it. Just stick with the thing, right? Like, it can be simple. It can be something that is beautiful, that has really good quality, that's strong, but it doesn't have to be so extravagant. Do you know what I mean? Be cautious about your choices, be practical about your choices here. Take your time on it, you know, like, don't rush it. Don't settle, right? Like, even if it's like a money thing, right? Like, don't buy the cheap stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, buy the stuff that has better quality, so that way it comes out well. But yeah, judgment here is just making me feel, like I said, like, do it. You know, you've been guided to this moment. You have all of the pieces in front of you that are needed. You're not missing anything, right? As long as you use what you have everything you need. But yeah, that is your energy, your reading for this week. I hope this project or whatever it is that you're working on turns out beautifully. And I'm sure I have every faith that you'll be able to get it done. Okay, Sagittarius, that's your reading. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, Capricorn, welcome in. All right, so let's see what is up with you this week. What's coming through for the Capricorn group that I'm reading for at this time? Capricorn, one card for the weekly message. Ooh, nice. Magic with alchemy. What are you working on at this time? I'm getting this sense of like everything is coming together. Okay, maybe you have come from a time of life or like a previous few months where maybe things were just challenging, a little stressful. Maybe you had like different obstacles and it just felt like really crunchy, right? Like things were not smooth. Maybe there were things that are not streamlined and just flowing well. And it just feels like you're coming out of that. And it feels like you can see how, like, day by day or week by week, that energy is probably starting to dissipate a little bit. And you're starting to feel a lot lighter and less stressed out. Okay. So now that you are less stressed, your energy can be focused on doing the things that you love, on creating and expressing yourself, or, you know, like whatever it is that you've been wanting to do but haven't had a chance because all of the stress and things that were going on previously. Like, now it's a really good time to go on that trip or go on that boat. I'm getting boat trip, I don't know, but like go to the beach or go, you know, take a short day trip or something like that. I don't know why I'm getting going somewhere, but maybe that's what you've been wanting to do. It just hasn't worked out until now. But it doesn't have to be that. It could just be anything that you've been putting behind or putting back, right, on the list of things to do. Like, it just feels like you've been constantly putting the things that you love or that you're passionate about on the back burner, and sort of waiting till later because there were all of these other obligations or things that were preventing you from doing so, right? So now you can really go all in and create your magic. Okay, what else for the Capricorn? Let's go into personal energy. Mind, heart, body, soul for the Capricorn, please. Love that. Yeah, that's what it feels like. This is just blessings all around. You have the energy, you have the stamina, the vitality. You feel physically strong, physically capable. You know, like, you're energetic. Like, from a physical standpoint, your energy is on point. And so when we feel like this, we are unstoppable. When we feel like this, anything's possible. When we feel like this, we want to, you know, take advantage of these moments and really go out and do the things that we love, right? There's also a sense of obviously blessings coming through with the sun energy. Healing is also a component that comes up for me when this card comes out. It maybe, you know, you've been a little sick lately, or you just have not been feeling overall like that good. And so whatever you've been doing to heal yourself is working and you feel good again. I'm getting something with hair as well. Like someone's hair is growing back. I don't know if that's a thing for you, but this horse's hair is pronounced to me in this card. I'm also getting like drinking a lot of citrus, staying hydrated, getting the sun, or at least taking vitamin D as a daily, supplement. Something like that is probably helping. If you're not doing that, then that can help tremendously. But I'm also getting like stamina. And then there's also something about people can tell that you're back to your normal self again. People can tell that you're feeling good again, right? Like maybe you were a little MIA or quiet in the past few weeks, and now you're back out and you're back, same old Capricorn, right? Like doing the stuff, going out and about, visiting your friends, visiting your family, like whatever that is. Like you're just back to your old self. Oh, did you see that? That just flew. All right, so the Lovers. I'm not going to take these, but I want to see what they are. So you have the Nine of Swords, Two of Coins, King of Wands. I feel like this was energy that you were coming out of. Like this weighing your options, maybe a little anxious or stressed, still fully confident, right? Like I don't think there's ever a time when you're not confident, no matter what you're faced with in life. But it was still this sense of like uncertainty, or you were juggling different things, and all of a sudden maybe you just went through this like spurt of anxiety. Sometimes anxiety creeps up on us and we don't even know that we're stressed out. Do you know what I mean? Like we don't feel that anything's wrong, but based off of the day and age of these times of humanity, right? Like this stuff just creeps up on us for whatever reason, So I think you're coming out of that, which is beautiful. All right, what else? So you have the Lovers. So this could be other people, but also a choice that you need to make. You have the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So for you, there's an opportunity to go toward a partner, go toward some sort of dynamic with another person. Yeah. The Eight of Cups is about like you, I in this scenario, I want to say like you feel good enough, right? But there's something that you have your eye on. There's something that is like almost at your grasp that is going to make you feel even better, if that makes sense. So it doesn't make me feel like you don't need this thing, right? It's not a necessity. It's more of a luxury or a desire. Okay. The Ace of Wands is here promoting passion, excitement, enthusiasm, motivation, action-oriented type of energy, fire energy, right? Like you are physically taking action to go toward a more emotional, fulfilling time, or a more emotional, fulfilling like state of being. And there might be another person in your life who is providing that for you, or who represents this emotional connection. Okay. So it does feel like you want to go toward this dynamic, toward this person. It feels like you feel comfortable in their in their energy, right? Comfortable in their presence. And so therefore it's easy, it flows well. And if this is a person like that you're already with, like a partner of yours, a husband, wife, something like that, then maybe you're coming out of a time where things were just a little rocky and challenging, like I said in the beginning of this reading. And now, after some time together, after a little bit of self-reflection and some healing, things are just starting to feel better again, which is a beautiful thing. I am getting with the Ace of Wands that there is attraction, like physical attraction between you and another person. You have the Page of Wands, so you have the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. Nine of Wands. Queen of Cups. Okay. This Queen of Cups, I don't always associate it with a Capricorn archetype or Earth archetype. Obviously, that would be saved for the Queen of Earth or Queen of Pentacles. But in this case, it's feeling like it is your energy, whether you're male or female, right? Like there is something a little bit more sensitive to this overall vibe in this reading. Like just more nurturing, more open-hearted, like leading with the heart, leading with love, leading with like empathy, compassion. And I'm not saying like leading with love for this person specifically, although that could be. I'm just talking about like in general, right? Like just loving. Does that make sense? Like when we speak about that, it's like I am love. How can I say this? Like going about your day, being in a state of love for humanity, love for self, love for all things, not necessarily like love for just a thing or a person. So I do feel that this Queen of Cups, male or female, is your energy because you're just sitting in a place of love always. You could be connecting with spirit, God, goddess, source, however you want to call it. I'm getting strongly for somebody, this is Jesus Christ, like developing a stronger relationship with your deity or your faith, which in return, because of that, it's created this like really positive state of well-being. Okay. That's the best that I can articulate that feeling that I was getting here. So I hope that relates to somebody. But because you have a renowned or renewed connection and sense of faith, you're radiating love now. You're radiating light. You're radiating positivity. And I just said that like a whole bunch of birds just flew around my window. It's beautiful. So no matter what, happens at this time, like those obstacles that were perceived obstacles before, those challenges or annoyances or the things that were just frustrating you, like they're no longer a thing, right? Like the thing that you had fear about or maybe kept you up at night, you were overthinking, you had a little bit of anxiety, like that has all dissipated now that you have regained this sense of faith again. And it doesn't have to be a specific religion or deity. It could just be you woke up one day and you realized how grateful and how blessed you are and how beautiful your life is and how amazing it is to be a human being on this planet at this time. And even that just in of itself can change a person dramatically, So whatever that is, you're definitely healing from that and coming out of those more challenging energies and into more positive. These birds are just huge. I don't even know what kind of birds these are. What are they? They're not like, I don't know. Are they falcons? I live in the country now, so like the birds are different here than in the city. Okay. But this 9 of Wands is something that I want to discuss before I go. So the 9 of Wands is an energy of protection, of guarding one's nature, guarding something. I don't know if this is like a physical thing or you're just putting up your boundaries. I do feel that maybe you're protecting your energy so that way you don't fall into the same state that you were once in before, right? But this could also be somebody here has their wall up, and I do think that for somebody, you're motivated and willing to care, support, nurture another person to where their wall comes down. Okay, if there was an obstacle that was preventing you and another person from getting closer to becoming more intimate, or maybe two people just we're finding it hard to like vibe or something like that. Like, I think that your more peaceful, nurturing energy is coming through to help alleviate and bring down the wall that somebody else may have up. And so you're helping them at the same time, right? Like, not even knowing that your light and your presence is literally a healing energy for another person to be able to bring their be vulnerable, bring their wall down, and in turn heal as well. Okay. So I don't know what that looks like for you specifically, but that energy is present. Otherwise, I mean, it's just a really beautiful time for you. And I think that you are aware of that. Like, you're moving with more presence and more consciousness. And when you do that, you're able to take advantage of your day-to-day things, day-to-day moments, completely, right? And make the best out of them. So that's a beautiful thing. All right, Capricorn, that is your reading for this week. I hope you got something out of it and you have a wonderful week. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, Aquarius, welcome into the reading. All right, let's see what's coming up for you this week. What's up with the Aquarius group that I'm picking up on today? This one wanted to come out. So you have the card of water for creation, the number 29. I was born on the 29th and I'm a water sign, so I wonder. But let's see. So creation. I think you're having fun for sure with whatever this is that you're working on. There is like heartfelt intention, right? Like, there is love, there is care. There's genuine, sincere, like, wanting to help and wanting to be generous and do something for someone. Connecting with the water elements, it's making me feel like you are in your nurturing side, like being really nurturing. Maybe you have people in your life right now who you feel need to be supported, and you want to be that person in their life that is going to hear them out and be a shoulder to cry on, or, like, not judge them and see them as for who they are instead of like being critical and judgmental, right? Like, just accepting, but holding space for them at the same time. And maybe that's because you wish that somebody would do that for you, right? I do think that sometimes you can be misunderstood. And so, it would be great if like more people just didn't judge you and would try to understand you from a more genuine, open heart. And so maybe that's happening to you right now, or maybe you're doing that for somebody, but it is coming through very loving, very bright, very light, very pure. So it's a good energy here. Okay. All right. Personal energy for the Aquarius. Mind, heart, body, soul. 5 of Swords. Well, if anybody needs love and care at this time, it's probably you. And it's also telling me, like, don't forget to come from a loving place, because this is in your personal energy. It's not really positive. Okay, you're not being very positive right now. It's like, it feels like one thing led to another, led to another, led to another. And all of a sudden, it's tangled up and you're gripping. I feel like you're gripping, you know, I don't know if that's literal or metaphorical, but like, it's like if you, I don't know, like I'm getting this thing of a little bit of stubbornness, right? Like just tangling it up, right? Like more and more and more and more until it's so tight and it hurts. Are you like, this is how hurt you are? It's so tight that it hurts. For some of you, you need to like watch out for your heart, literally, like physically, health wise. You know, if that is something that you've already been going through or struggling with, or you have an idea like, hey, like something's happening with my chest, so you know, pains or whatever, like you should literally go get checked. But other than that, it's very much pain as in heartbreak. Therefore, behaviors are not the best, right? Because you're projecting, because you're so brokenhearted and it hurts so bad. It's it's crazy because if you're like that, right, especially with the lightning here, you being Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, the lightning is very pronounced in your life and in your magic, in your creation as well. Okay. For some of you, the rainstorms are affecting you profoundly right now. For some of you, maybe storms that have just passed through have affected you or somebody you care for to the point where it hurts, right? Like maybe somebody got hurt. But metaphorically, this is representing how hurt you are, and the more hurt you are, the more power you're exuding. Okay? Like if you are, especially if you're like a brand new witch, like you're young still, for young witches, male or female, before you even start the path, right? Like you're born with something. Anger tends to bring out the power, right? Before you know, you learn how to control it. One of the more common energies, common emotions that a new witch sees, like that, how can I say, like when they can see that they have created or made something happen, it's when they're angry. And so I don't know if this is somebody like that here as well. And because the lightning is so sporadic, the lightning is spontaneous, like you can't, the lightning reminds me of like chaos, right? Like not the inability to control your power here. Because it's so painful, you just want, it's like something needs to release. And when it releases, it starts to, I'm pointing here because of the creation word. It starts to create itself and manifest itself in things. Okay, what's in the details for the Aquarius, please? 8 of Wands. I have paint on my finger. I was painting my cabinets Eight of Wands, fast moving. Ace of Coins, opportunity. This pain is actually creating opportunity. That's what I'm saying. Like when we're fed up, right? Like when we're fed up, for sure, we get things done. When we're upset, when we're angry, it's like, like, let me just do it, right? And then you just start to do the thing. You know, that people were maybe bugging you about, complaining about. Maybe maybe the thing that you're doing is somebody else's job. They're not doing it, so it's like, oh, you have to do it. So, but it is an opportunity here. Money is on the mind for sure. Okay, with the Ace of Coins being here in the middle. And you see it coming. Well, actually, I don't know if you see it coming. Like, I honestly feel you're so wrapped up in this anger that you are not aware of the opportunities that you're manifesting, that you're bringing up here somehow, some way. This probably has to do with work, school, as far as like the opportunities go. Something that you are like your higher calling, right? Like something that you've always felt pulled toward, something that you've always felt passionate about. I'm also getting what you stand for, right? Like your stance on a topic, or I don't know if this is like social situations, social things going on that, you know, you can go and advocate and speak up and support, right here with the water card. But it's like so beautiful, but at the same time, personally, you just want to hurt. Personally, it's like you probably feel like something isn't fair, right? Like you want to act out, you want to destroy something, you want to be toxic, you want to go to your lowest vibration, and just destroy and mess things up. Even though you have this opportunity to do it the right way. You have the opportunity to do it with pride, with your head held high, you know, in ways that you can be proud of with the Hierophant card here. And it can go super fast. It can be done like now. There's an opportunity to do that now. Are you missing that? Or are you just acting out and ignoring it, not taking it? It's very interesting. I feel like your pain, and it's pain in disguise, okay? You're disguising the pain. What you're showing out to the world is toxic behavior. But I feel like that is separate. It's almost as though, like, I'm picking up on somebody that is living their life and inside they're just angry. But they're doing all the things they have to do, right? They go see their family, they go to work, you know, they hang out with their friends, they go to the groceries, they go, you know, like they clean their house. Like I'm picking up on, like, I'm trying to see you and how you're able to live and be this way, but at the same time have these wonderful things in your life. And this is no judgment, okay? I'm not speaking like this to make you feel shitty, but like it does, like a grumpy old man, you know, who has a beautiful life and probably has so much that they've done, probably has accomplished a lot, probably has a family. Like, I'm not saying that you're a man, or an old man, but you might be, I don't know. But like, you've done well, right? Like, why are you so mad? You know, there's so much to be grateful for. You have a good life. Why are you so mad? Right? Like, there's something wrong here. You have the Nine of Wands, Four of Coins, the Chariot. You definitely have your wall up to this opportunity that's here. There's definite stubbornness coming through. You're choosing not to take the opportunity because of the hurt, the betrayal, whatever it is, it's making you act this way. But destiny is calling with the Chariot, right? Like your bus has arrived. You have a ticket to go to the place that is for your highest good. And this could be literal, this could be spiritual, like you have an opportunity to heal from this and rise above it. It's like your chariot awaits. Are you going to take are you going to get in? Are you getting in? Are you just watching it pass by? It's self-sabotage. Five of Swords often speaks about that. You're burning bridges, you're cutting ties. But it's self-sabotage. It's sabotaging a situation. Not for the sake of your highest good, not for, because you're going toward bigger and better things, right? Like you're not saying goodbye in good standing. Like you're destroying and leaving a bad taste in people's mouths here. Right? Like this is not, I don't know. And I'm sorry to be this person, to read for this person. It's probably not everybody. If it's not your reading, then please, don't listen. But there's so much to unpack. There is a need to forgive. There is a need to nurture self. And maybe you're mad because nobody's been that person for you. And it sucks, but if that's the case, it is what it is. We all have the cards that we've been dealt. And what are you going to do with that? What do you do about it? There's some resentment. The resentment toward God, resentment toward life, probably resentment toward your parents. It's like you do so much for people, but no one does for you. You're done. You're done. Which is fine. And maybe this is a phase, of you feeling upset and angry. But if you're done, be done and look forward to what's next. Put it behind you and get on the train, get on the bus, get in the car and go. And have hope for the future and self-care and self-love, Nurture your own self here. Go toward a place, whether that's physically in the world or internally, where you feel at ease, you feel accepted, you feel capable, you feel connected to self, like this is who you are, feel proud. Focus on self, right? Like try not to focus on what other people have done. What other people have done, they did it. It's done. And it's easy for us to take it personal. It's easy for us to have resentment. It's easy for us to want fairness and, karma. And it's easy for us to want to hurt back. It's hard for us to release. It's hard for us to see through that the other person and the other people in your life were just not the people that you needed, no matter how much you love them or wanted them. They too are on their own journey, and for whatever reason, they couldn't be what you needed. And whether there was so much low vibration toxicity happening, who cares? If you rise above all of that and see things for what they truly are, what you'll see is you as a troubled, unhealed part of self were interacting with another troubled, unhealed person, and it just didn't go together. Therefore, accept what is, what was, move on. It's easier said than done, I get it. But go toward who you are at your core and be that always. And you'll start to attract situations and people who are compatible with that. Anyway, this is a lot to unpack in this reading. I'm so sorry I don't have a lot of time to go deeper. I'm so sorry that it felt as though I was coming down on you. But I hope it did help somebody sort of open their eyes at least a little bit to even make like the first step. Okay. All right. Well, that was your reading, Aquarius. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Okay, Pisces, let's get started with your reading. All right. So one card for the weekly message, please. One card for the Pisces. What's up with them this week? Overall weekly message for the Pisces. All right, so you have the card of Voice, number 25, and it says, speaking your word. Okay, so obviously, apparently, at this point of time, this week, sorry, I'm fixing my microphone. It looks as though your opinion, your word, your thoughts are going to be important to communicate. Okay, maybe people are asking for your opinion. Even if they're not asking for your opinion, I think you feel compelled to give it anyway. There is something about communicating. You're probably going to be communicating with a lot of people throughout the week or throughout this time. And I feel as though there's going to be like different sides of you coming out depending on who you're speaking to. Okay, like maybe, certain people you have to communicate more directly, more firmly. Other people require you to be more supportive or more understanding. But regardless, something's going to come up this week that is going to require a conversation. Okay. And maybe multiple conversations, right? So, it's also something about like, just get it out, to get it out of the way, open up, release, let go, right? Like all of the thoughts and emotions that you've been holding in. Maybe this is a good time to release all of that and just like put things on the table. Like maybe if you're in a relationship, doesn't have to be romantic, but any type of relationship where you have like you're really close to the person, maybe it's just time to like, what is it? Speak about the elephant in the room, right? Like maybe people have been tiptoeing around a conversation, not really like getting to the root of the thing or speaking directly. Maybe it's like, oh, let's save this conversation for later, or like, we'll get to it when we get to it, or something like that. But something is coming up that's requiring you to just open up and release and just inform people about where you stand, about how you feel, whatever that's important to you that you've been holding in, right? Like maybe you feel like you have a lot to say and you haven't had the opportunity to say so. Maybe there's something about you feeling like you don't have a place to say anything, or it's not your place to say something, right? When in fact it probably is very much your place to say the thing, like putting importance on your word and your part that you have to play in a relationship dynamic or in a situation. The world came out reversed because I was shuffling reverse like I always do these days for some reason. I don't know why I've been doing that. But you have the World card. Yeah, this is a culmination. Maybe you have to express to somebody or to a group of people that, this phase of life in some way is over, that you're moving on. Okay. You're ascending, you're going the next level, you're going the next step. Maybe you're getting communication about you ascending in some way, like maybe you got a promotion or a raise, or just something in your life feels like it's better quality, it's higher, it has a higher meaning. I do feel that there is something about like more responsibility in some way as well. But there's what is this? Like there's something waiting for you on the other side. Okay, so you're ending a phase, and at the like simultaneously you're going into something new. And whether you're conscious and aware of that or not, right? Like you find yourself in a transition period. And I don't know if you know what's waiting for you on the other side, but it could just be like a big picture concept, right? Like your destiny is on the other side, right? Like who knows? Like that could be anything, right? Or it could be something literal that you know of, right? Like there's a person waiting for you on the other side. There is a job on the other side. On the other side of this, there's a brand new home that you just bought, or right, like just a new way of living, or even this could even be self, right? Like a new way of being, because speaking your voice or speaking your word is here. You can find yourself just sort of like changing a little bit to be more vocal, to be more direct, to not be hesitant or scared or fearful about sharing your opinion or telling others how you feel, right? Like being more confident and secure in self that, you have something to say and what you say is important or can be of value. And so there is like a sense of change here, right? It could be just change within, that you are maturing, that you're ascending, that you are getting stronger and more bold here. But I do feel, more than anything, that there is something waiting for you on the other side of this ending, of this change, of this transition. Whoa, that was loud. All right, so you have the Lovers. Since I've been using this deck, and granted, last week readings didn't come out because I lost all the audio, but I was using this deck for those readings as well. But since I've been using this deck, I have not gotten the Lovers for anybody. So this is the first time that this card comes out. All right, so you have the Lovers. So speaking your voice, sharing your thoughts, sharing your emotions. You have the Eight of Swords reversed. I am reading them upright, as you can see. So there is a sense of freedom, definitely, since this Eight of Swords came out reverse. You don't feel like you are trapped anymore. Maybe you're coming from a time of life where you felt like you just couldn't catch a break. You couldn't get out of your current situation you were in. Like no matter what you did, no matter how much you tried or whatever, right? Like there was always an obstacle or maybe an excuse. Because it does, with the Eight of Swords, I often see it as a mental thing, right? Like it's not like a literal trap. It's not like if you're in trapped in jail or something like that. I mean, sometimes that does come out depending on the cards in the surrounding area, but this is more of like mental trap. Like you had excuses. There was reasons why you couldn't do something. It was never the right time, or maybe internally you just felt like, you weren't good enough, you weren't smart enough, or it wasn't going to happen, right? Like you always thought of the worst case scenario or something like that. And maybe you thought like, no matter what I do, I'm never going to be able to get this thing, which is probably this relationship or this connection, okay, in some way with the Lovers here. And there is a real chance this time. And I think that you know that, and that's why you're able to get out of the mental trap, the mental constraints that you've given yourself, and break free from them. And that's really how I felt with speaking your word, is like this sense of release and let go of all of the emotions and feelings and thoughts that you've had. And now it just feels better to get everything out on the table, to tell somebody how you feel, to tell somebody how you've changed, with the world card here. And by you doing that, it's going to create change, right? Like the phase that you were once in, where you just were not going for what you wanted. You were not like really taking action and doing anything about certain goals you had. Well, now you are, because you see that there is an opportunity to do that. You're confident that this is like realistic. You're confident that this could work, that this is tangible, and that you can, really take a hold of whatever goal this is. And maybe before you didn't feel that way, and for some reason you do now. So it does make me feel like right time, like timing is good right now for this, whatever it is. Yeah, Two of Cups with the Lovers. There's definitely another person here. I don't know if this feels very good at the end of the day, because the Four of Cups, I don't know if you're missing somebody, you're yearning for somebody, and maybe you're speaking about it. Oh. Yeah. It's this simultaneous thing of like, yeah, something's happening super fast. It's a simultaneous thing of endings and beginnings, of hope, inspiration, like seeing how bright the future can be, feeling confident finally, like taking pressure off of yourself, taking a load off of your shoulders, that you're finally able to just say how you feel and get it off your chest. There's definitely an element of getting something off your chest. And so this simultaneous thing is like freedom and empowerment, right? Because you are able to get something off your chest, and you feel so much better compared to probably the news that you gave and the message that you gave, the words, right? The communication was probably not good for another person. Like it's this bittersweet energy that's going on here. Because I do feel that there is a lot of beautiful energy with the Lovers and the Two of Cups, right? Like freeing oneself and feeling accepted and welcomed, with another person, feeling safe with another person, after feeling trapped somehow, right? I do feel that there's always this thing of mirroring in life. And in some way, there's another person as well who is not feeling too good about this, who does feel trapped, who does feel fear and loss and sadness and letdown in some way. Overall, it just feels like a conversation happened, and it probably happened quickly because this Eight of Wands came in. It probably happened out of the moment, and you just saw the opportunity to say something, to express your truth. You saw the opportunity to express and release something that was on like weighing on you. And it even though it's a good feeling that you did that, it still changed everything. There is still a feeling of letdown, and there is definitely an ending. You have the Ten of Swords with the World here. That is definitely an ending. Oh, shoot. Sorry. That was probably super loud. All right. What is this Page of Coins? So sorry for that noise. Ace of Pentacles. I'm telling you, this is an opportunity. You had, it was the right time, the right place. You had the opportunity to say something. King of Swords. Yep, your truth. It probably came through a little insensitive, very direct, right? Like cold a little bit, but you had no choice because you had to just say it. You had to say what you were feeling. Yeah. Between you and another person, somebody who is more emotional, more sensitive, somebody who does express their feelings and emotions, you know, and I mean, this could be you as well, but I do feel that you're coming through like more direct. Seven of Cups. The Magician. Yeah, whereas before you felt trapped, like you could not get out of a situation. Now you feel like there's so much possibility and options. You have options now. You have, I don't know, like you're not just stuck anymore. You're free to choose. You're free to go. You're free to make, you know, decisions. You're free to try this and to try that and to experiment and to, you know, travel or go here. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It could be different for everybody. You're free to pursue happiness. Maybe you didn't feel like you deserved it, or maybe you didn't feel like you could have it. And now something has come up between you and another person who is helping you. Okay, this opportunity is helping you get out of a situation that where you didn't feel free, you didn't feel worthy. What else am I getting? I still can't shake that there is someone else here who is really sad. I can't get over that. Like, even though you have a good opportunity to express your feelings, opinions, and thoughts that, you know, were able to free you from the situation you were in, the other person is still in that situation somehow. Okay. And also, I don't feel like it's just you and another person. I feel like there's multiple people here who are going through it. Like different, like it's all the same situation. Like it's one situation that's affecting several people, if that makes sense. It's one situation that's affecting several people, and everybody is going through their own experience. Everybody is feeling certain things, whereas you're feeling free and you were able to express yourself, and now you're just like, okay, I said what I said. Now, you know, regardless of the outcome, regardless of what happens, I can just, now I'm free to move on. Now I'm free to get out of this trap. But maybe other people are experiencing it differently. All right. I don't know. This probably didn't, you probably knew all of this already, and I probably didn't give you anything that you didn't know, but this is really all that's coming through, because I feel like I'm being redundant. And once I become redundant, that means that that's the end of the message. So I hope you got something out of it either way, Pisces, and you get through this time of life. This will pass, I'm sure. All right. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.